And are you there? If you are, hello. How you doing? I'm just a couple minutes early, but I thought I'd go ahead and get this going, get it set up, and get this set up this way. Huh. All right. We're just waiting on anybody to show up because we've gone live. It shows me Ann Panay Vlog 14 is here, but I don't see her in this other. So she might have gone already. Oh, she was here way early, so I'm sure. Hey Tim, how you doing, man? Can you hear me fine? Hey Ed Denoy, how you doing, man? Now, if you can hear me, guys, let me know. I got my mic on, so hopefully it's working. But if it's not, let me know. Very good, very good. My earbuds, I don't hear it myself. Now, if I switch to another system, I'd probably hear it. But I hear when the guys are up here with me, I can hear them talking. But when I'm here by myself, I don't know if it's working. So that's why I ask. Let me move this over out of the way. But, so how's everybody doing today? I'm doing quite well. I had a busy day. I worked, on Saturdays and Sundays, I worked 12 hours, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And, my new Facebook page, Lazy Larry Lee, I last week, I think I had maybe 2,000 followers at the most. I'm now at 5,000 followers. And I got people that would still like to get in, but Facebook won't let you have more than 5,000. And I've been getting a lot of, Ann, how you doing, Ann? It's good to see you. But like I said, I've been getting a lot of people wanting to chat, and some want to call me, and I don't take phone calls from people I don't know, even if it's the people on my Facebook page. They do it through Facebook, and I don't answer video or audio calls. Hey, Alvy, how you doing? Now remember, everybody, if you want your link dropped, just type in LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your link. So it's good to have you back, Elvie. And so I'm glad everybody's here. I expect Big Mac Daddy will be here pretty soon. He messaged me earlier and asked me if it was on for tonight, and I said it was. So I expect he's here. I don't see Leonard here yet, or Dan. It wouldn't surprise me if Dan didn't make it. He is on vacation. He is in Thailand after all, and trying to enjoy himself. There you go, Elvie. That should drop your link for you. See, there you go. That's all you got to do. Hey, Brandon. Hope you got that message that I don't know where to send a snack to. Yeah. Like I said, capital letters or small letters, doesn't matter. Just drop 3 L's down and nothing else, and my Nightbot will drop your information. I figured that was a lot easier than just giving when I set it up, it was just a lot easier for me than to give everybody a jacket. And yeah, I got that message, Brandon. I bought some mixed nuts. but I've been eating them. I'm sorry. I'll get a couple days worth out of it. I take some to work. Took some today. Had some last night. I got enough set aside for tomorrow for work. So I'll get 3 days out of it, if not more. But that's a healthier snack than cookies and potato chips and that kind of stuff. I am considered diabetic, but I'm low enough that I don't have to take insulin. But my numbers are starting to get higher, so I'm trying to cut back. Hey, dumpster fire and a gutter ball, huh? Changed your name there, buddy. So how you doing? Did Jerry sneak in here and I didn't see? I didn't see Jerry. Hey, Larry XD, how you doing, man? Welcome. There's Jerry. I'm sorry, Jerry, I didn't see you earlier. Crystal's got what is that called? ESP, extrasensual perception. Because I didn't see your name pop up before she said hi. And yeah, I noticed that you added a little bit to it because, well, you know, I remember you guys from Chris and Sabu, and there was you and President Xi and Chicken. We won't say the Chicken Bleep, and a few others with the, and so we like to. I'm glad to see you guys when you show up, like Ed DeNoise from Chris and Sabu and Jerry, and there's quite a few that show up. That was in Chris and Sabu. Dan shows up. Dan's got his own live stream usually on Friday night. Right now it's around 8 o'clock U.S. time. No, nobody's coming over tonight. I just got off work. I'm going to do this, and when I get done with this, it'll be time to go to bed. I got to work tomorrow, and I have to get up about 5:30 in the morning, so I'll stay up till whenever we get done, maybe a little later, but I'm not going to have anybody come over. It's kind of silly. Besides that, I happen to be an old man. I'm 69 years old, and you know, the sex drive is way downhill compared to what it used to be. So, no, Crystal happens to be in the Philippines, and I happen to be in the United States. Crystal happens to be married. She's a lovely woman, and her husband and their kids are in the Philippines. She has her own channel. You can check it out. But like I said, she has a good channel. She doesn't post a lot. So, Brandon, just be nice. Remember, everybody be nice to each other. And I understand, Crystal. He shouldn't be asking that kind of stuff. Hey, Monroe, how you doing, man? Welcome. Monroe is life in the North Carolina. And so, yes, Larry XD, you're right. Like I said, I've cut back. I used to eat cookies all the time, and I happen to be diabetic, and my sugar's starting to get a little high. So I've changed to mixed nuts. That's supposed to be healthier for me. And I've also joined a gym, which I'm hoping to start going to on Monday. Because like I said, Saturday and Sunday I work 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Those of you here in the States might have heard of Planet Fitness. They got that deal going now till the end of the month. They're $1 down and $10 a month, and you can cancel anytime. Well, I got in on that deal. And when I first joined it, I came down with a cold, and I really didn't want to go with my nose running into the gym, having people think, "Oh, he's sick," And I really don't listen to amateur radio, Brandon. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't even listen to radio very much at all. I do listen to some. I'm more of a country fan. Like I said, I'm 69 years old, so the new stuff doesn't do a lot for me. I do like the older stuff that they play in still in places. The 60s, 70s, and even 80s is all right. The 60s and late 60s, early and 70s is my teens and my 20s. And what do you? Oh, you're talking about CB radio or ham radio? Okay, I know people that was into that, and I never really got into it. Now, Ed, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. I don't think weed would be good for my diabetes because I know me, it would give me the munchies and I'd be eating the wrong stuff. Okay, it might be good for my libido though. And yes, it is legal in New York. I do know they got a couple shops near where I live. When I say near, I mean like 20 minutes to half an hour drive. There's none right close to me, but none so far I couldn't drive there. Well, right now, I took some supplements and they didn't do me much good at all. Part of my problem, I am grossly obese. I know obese means grossly overweight, and that means like 50 to 60 pounds overweight. Well, I'm well over that even. So being out of shape and hey, I got Brady coming up. Let me bring Brady up now. Brady's a nice young man. Hey Brady, we hadn't seen you in a while. How you been, man?
Pretty good. How about you, Ben?
Oh, not too bad. Trying to stay out of trouble and have a little fun.
Hey, yeah.
I haven't seen you in a while. So what you been up to?
Well, I'm dealing with my leg in the crib with the lawyers and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how's your Xbox games going? Are you playing
Pretty
with
good.
Junior?
Pretty good.
Are you still playing with Junior?
Well, me and Junior are on slim terms because Junior just don't know how to stop saying the Junior just don't know how to stop like cussing and saying racial words.
Okay. Well, that you're allowed to cut people out if they don't obey by the the rules that you're going to go by.
See, I tried telling Junior that I tried making Junior a better person, but he just don't want to listen. He just wants to keep on saying cussing and stuff.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, I'm not talking about him. I'm just understanding. It's understandable if he's doing something that you don't like, then you change.
Yeah.
And hey, Leonard, how you doing, man? And as Dan would say, welcome from Houston. Go ahead, Brady.
But I mean, I guess it is what it is. I tried telling Junior the rights and wrongs. Hold on, my friend needs me. What game?
But no, we just started up. We've been on the air now for about I don't know, maybe 13 minutes. I don't know how long we'll go. I don't know how long we'll go tonight. Now, if I was no longer working on Sundays, we'd go as late as anybody wants to go. And I've gone 6 hours before, so I mean, people that know me know that. But I got to, go to work tomorrow, so I won't go much beyond 11 or 12 o'clock tonight. I still go later than what some people would because I have to get up at 5:30. But if I get 4 hours of sleep, I can get through 12 hours of work. And then I can always make up the sleep later. But that's what I've done in the past, and I'll do it in the future. And I don't know if that – you're right, it's a learned thing, but there's people I know who weren't that way. Their parents weren't, but they were. A lot of it has to do with who you run around with as well. Believe it or not, a lot of your friends will influence how you think. It's not a good thing, but it does happen.
Yeah.
I heard when I was growing up, there was a lot more people. Uh, you heard it a lot. I never heard it at home. My father did. I'm not saying my father wasn't prejudiced because I believe he was, but he never taught it to us. Uh, Now, for his age, he'd be over 100 years old. So for his age group, he wasn't that prejudiced. But compared to today, yeah, he'd be prejudiced. But my father never taught me to be prejudiced. I never heard him use the N word. Uh, he always said, especially when it came to women, he said, you always treat all women, no matter who they are or what they do. And he was talking about hookers. You treat all women with respect because they're the givers of life. But so, like I said, but I heard those things more at school than I did at home. My mom never said, I got cousins that happen to be, part black. My first cousin's granddaughter was half black and half white. Now she's got 3 kids of her own, and their fathers are all black. So, like I said, I have cousins that are black. They're great kids. I go home, see them all the time. I get along well, especially the younger ones. Now the son, he was last time I saw him, he was just really little, and now he's in grade school now. But the last time I saw him, he was still, like nursery school and stuff like that. I didn't see him very much. Now the 2 daughters, I would see at church, and they would always want to sit with me, and we'd talk and play games and stuff. So, like I said, I mean, I have relatives that are prejudiced, and I have relatives that aren't. It's sad, but that's the truth of it. And the ones I run around with aren't. And I keep getting these messages, like I said, to Facebook. I keep getting people trying to contact me even right now and wanting to chat through Facebook. So I'm wondering if I should put this on Facebook next time. So maybe they'll see that, hey, I'm busy. I don't know if I can do that, but I think I can. But we'll check into that. But anyway. All right, Jerry, I hope whoever you're rooting for wins that 24-hour auto race. But hey, Simply Nanette, how you doing? And I know you'll be going to bed pretty soon, early, Jerry, too. So you get a good night's rest. Because Jerry's he's like my sister, Carla, my youngest sister. They like to go to bed early and they like to get up early. And my sister Carla's been that way all the time. And well, good evening, Nanette. I hope you're having fun. Like I said, anybody that wants to come up right now, it's just me, but anybody who wants to come up can come up. Brandon, that's probably true, but I'll tell you that the thing that'll help the most probably is exercise. And I got to get back. I used to walk 3 miles about 4 or 5 days a week. And then I was in a car wreck and ended up with a concussion. Now I was overweight even back then, but I was in a lot better shape because of the walking. My back didn't bother me. My knees didn't bother me. Now I still had arthritis in my hands. I'll have that till I die probably. But like I said, I could walk for 3 miles and not take a break. I started on a treadmill. I did it at a incline of 3, and I did it at a speed of 3 miles an hour. And how you doing, Leonard?
I'm good, Larry. Thanks.
All right. I can hear you moving not bad. I can hear you moving that mic. But I'm doing well. It's Tim's telling you hello. So Tim does it. He's here.
Oh, hey, Tim. How are you?
Now, we still going, what, is it March now or is it later?
If I'm lucky, it'll be July.
July, okay.
Yeah, I just gotta get some things straightened out.
Well, we all know I got a few years before I go. My mom just turned 97 last week. And
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, yeah. She turned 97 on the 20th. And so, like I said, I've told a lot. I won't say everybody because there's probably some people in there like Gambling Fiction. I don't think I've seen him before. There's probably some people that haven't heard me talk about it, but I'm not going anywhere as long as my mom's still. If I can't drive home within 24 hours, I'm not going. It's that simple.
Well, no, that's understandable in your case.
And yeah, that's what I said. That's why, and I don't know how long. Now, she says she don't want to live to be 100. But like I told her, and she admitted it's not up to her. The good Lord will call her home when he wants her to go home.
Yep.
And,
he may still have something for her to do here.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what, tell you the truth, unless it's just testify where she's in her nursing home.
Right.
So.
Yeah, my mom is too.
Yeah. Now, when she first went in, it wasn't so bad. That was before COVID. She's been in there for a while. But before COVID, I have 3 sisters that live back in Terre Haute. They all live in, Vigo County. They don't live, all of them don't live in the city limits, but in Vigo County. And then I got a niece and a great niece that live in Terre Haute. And they all went and visited her every week, so she always had visitors and she always had something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and all of a sudden she's not getting any visitors because they won't let them in.
Right.
And for a while, you couldn't see them at all. And then they finally said, well, you can go and look at them through the window. Well, that's still not touching. That's
right.
It's probably better than nothing, but I don't know by how much. But now they can actually go see them.
Yeah, that's tough when you can't go visit them.
Yeah. And I have to agree with Larry XD. He says being respectful, kind, and empathetic. Empathy is what he's talking about. Having empathy can be much more important than simply looking good. And I agree with him.
Yeah.
But like I said, that doesn't help your health. That might help make you attractive to someone. But like I said, I really do have to start going. The last time I weighed myself, people, I'm going to tell you how much I am. I happen to weigh 300, just about 9 pounds, just under 3. It was like 308 point something.
Man.
And so, like I said, I'm extremely overweight. I'm only 5'8". And so, like I said, I gotta bring join the gym and start working out. I will never get into shape that I would love to get into. It's not going to happen. I'll be 70 years old this year. Now, I don't look my age. I don't act my age, but I am my age. I am 69, going on 70. But I can get in better shape than what I'm in. And Brandon, the little boy, took himself out. So he said something about a friend, so I think he just dropped out to spend some time talking to one of his friends. He just dropped in to say hi. So, which is...
Yeah, he's been on here before, hasn't he, Larry?
Yeah. Back when him and Eddie were getting along still. Eddie Jr. All right. Larry XD, I'm going to tell you something. I do have sleep apnea. I do, like I said, the back problems, I know, like I said, when I started walking, my back problems cleared up. My knees cleared up. Now, I still was overweight, but because I was moving them and using it, they got to where they didn't bother me anymore. But, like I said, I do have sleep apnea. I've been using this CPAP machine. You seem to know something about sleep apnea, so you know what that is. I've been using a CPAP machine for over 20 years. Matter of fact, 22 years. Actually, you want to know the truth? 23 years I've been using the machine. This year, in a month or two, it'll be 23 years. I want to say in February it'll be 23 years that I've been using a CPAP machine. So, I wasn't anywhere near as overweight as I am now. I didn't have diabetes back then when I first started using the CPAP, but I also have low D levels, vitamin D level.
Getting out in the sun will help that.
Well, I don't know if you can. Hang on a minute. Let me show you something. I'm going to show you my forehead. Can you see all those little red dots?
Oh yeah.
That's pre-cancer. So getting out in the sun, no, it's not good for me.
Well, that's the best source of vitamin D. That's all I'm saying.
I know, but you can take pills for vitamin D. I can get out in the sun, but I can't spend a lot of time out there.
Yeah.
And I got to wear a hat because, like I said, you can see. Then I got spots on my hands as well.
Okay.
I used to have convertibles.
Yeah.
I used to ride a motorcycle without a helmet, without shirt sleeves. I used to for years. I wore a lot of sleeveless shirts, and like I said, I rode a motorcycle for years. And the only real time I wore a helmet was at wintertime. I could ride my bike from March through November, and I rode my bike a lot from March to November. One time I totaled a car because of ice. It spun out on ice and slid into a telephone pole. And so instead of going out and buying another car, I just broke my bike out and rode my bike. This was in March.
Yeah.
And I rode my bike up until I decided to get another car, which was late in the fall. So whether it was raining or whatever, I rode my bike. And no, Larry, I've already had them evaluated. That's why he gave me a topical cream to put on them. And so that's what I'm doing. I got to do it for a couple. I'm starting my second week, and that's why there are some red dots that weren't showing earlier. Okay? Because the topical cream will treat, when you're looking with your naked eye, you can't see the spots because they're that new. And you put the topical cream on there, it will still treat them. It will kill the cells, but it will not harm the regular skin. And so after you put the topical on, you got to wash your hands so you don't get it in your eyes or get it on your food and eat it. I got to put it on twice a day. I put it on in the morning after I get to work. I try to get there early enough to go do it. And if I don't, they let me go do it anyway. This morning I got there early enough. I went in and did it, fixed my breakfast, and went back out, and still had time to sit down and relax for a few minutes. Then I did it tonight just before I came on. I usually do it after I get off, after 7 o'clock at night, between 7 and 8. And let me see what's going on here. Well, now, if you're talking about sexual orientation, that's up to them. I don't care. I'm not one of these people that says, well, you're sick if you're men and like men, or if you're a man that wants to be a woman. That's up to you. I believe that's not my place to judge. The only thing I can judge you on is, are you a good person? At heart, are you a good person? And, that's all I care about. If you're a good person and you treat others with respect, that's fine. I happen to have a couple of people that, Leonard, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We happen to know a lady boy. Actually, I know a couple of them. And they're friends.
I know a couple too.
Like I said, they're friends. I go to their channel. They come to mine. I'm going to tell you the truth. I, at one time, lived with 2 gay men. They would tell their friends that, hey, Larry's straight. So don't, they're gay friends. So they let them know I was straight, so nobody would hit on me. But I didn't, like I said, I knew they were gay. I didn't care. And they knew I didn't care. I lived with the guy that owned the house I lived with for about 4 or 5 years. His boyfriend moved in a couple of years afterwards. But we always talked, got along quite well. There's a lot. Now, Brandon, I'm going to agree with you. A lot, especially the older generation, don't care for homosexuality. My father wouldn't have. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, mine either.
He never said anything, but I know my father. Now, I got a sister who has a couple gay friends that are males that are a couple. I got another sister who I don't think would put up with it. She no, I don't want anything to do with them. Like I said, I have relatives that are, prejudiced, either against racially prejudiced or sexual preferences. Now, none of my sisters that I know of are racially prejudiced. None of them. But my one sister, that I won't say who she is, which one, but she uses the religious part of it. She thinks it's an act against God. That's her belief. We happen to be raised in the same church. It's not. I look at it this way. It's not for me to judge. I believe in judge not unless thy own self be judged. And believe me, there's things in my past people wouldn't like, including some of my family. So
Yeah.
I have no right to cast. What was it that Jesus said when they were going to stone Mary Magdalene? No, they were going to stone the one woman for adultery.
Oh.
He says,
Let he without sin cast the first stone.
that's right. Believe it. And there's that. I don't know if it's in the Bible, but it's something I heard all my life. We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. So I mean, if you're going to use religion, keep it to yourself, because I have family that would think Catholics aren't Christians. I have family that's Catholic.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole family is kind of a contradiction in things. Now,
Yep.
with my last name Lee, I don't know if I'm related to Robert E. or not, but you never know. But I can tell you this much: I have on my mother's side relatives named Hanks. Now, I was told, I don't know if it's true or not, that we were related to Nancy Hanks. I don't mean a direct. She was a cousin of some type, which means we would have been a cousin of some type to Abraham Lincoln. Now, I do know this one for a fact because I met the lady. My father had on his side of the family a cousin whose last name was Booth, and she was related to John Wilkes Booth. Now, how's that for a family paradox, huh?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, who knows? I mean, people say, I have a friend of mine who's Chinese, and she had an ex-boyfriend who was a real idiot. Was giving her a hard time because, she wasn't from here. And I asked him, I said, well, how long your family been here? And I can't remember what it was. I said, I can trace my family back to the pre-Revolutionary War. Who the fuck are you? Excuse my French. So, I mean, my mom's father's side came over in the 1850s. Now, her mother's side, which is part Native American, the white side came over and fought in the Revolutionary War. So that's what the family history says. That he was a Scotchman, I believe he was Scotch. His last name was Price. He jumped ship in the United States and went inland before the Revolutionary War. And once the Revolutionary War broke out, he joined the Americans and fought against the British. And like I said, I believe it was him and not one of his relatives that ended up marrying an Indian woman and having kids. And my grandmother was raised on the reservation. So, I mean, my whole family is kind of all over the place. I claim to be white. I do not claim Native American. It's nowhere written down anywhere because I don't look it. And why would I claim it? I mean, I've never been to the reservation. My mom and a couple of my sisters have been there, along with my aunt and her husband. But that was for a family reunion of some type. But I didn't go, and I'm not registered with the tribe. They're down in Philippi, West Virginia. If you want to look it up, you can do so. That's my how we found out. Got invited down was our great uncle Orange, my mom's uncle, her mom's brother. Yes, his first name was Orange. Went back to Philippi, West Virginia, to die. Now, Uncle Orange was a strange sort. He was kind of a wanderer. He had a kind of like he didn't like moss growing underneath his feet. He'd get a wild hair up and he'd take off and be gone for a few weeks, a few months, a year or two, and then come back. You know, he was an older gentleman. His kids were in Terre Haute, but his wife had passed years before. And he'd been that way most of his life, from what I understand. And so he got the wild hair up his backside when he was about 96, 97 years old, and hitchhiked down to Philippi, West Virginia, checked himself into a nursing home, and waited to die, which he died a couple years later. And it was the people down there that got a hold of his daughter in Terre Haute, my cousin Virginia Bell, and let her know that her dad had passed away. And they got to talking. They said, "Hey, look, we're having this family thing. Why don't you come down and bring whoever wants to come with you? And we'll meet each other," because they never met. Well, like I said, Virginia and her siblings went. My mom and her sister and a couple of my sisters all went down there for a meet and greet, pretty much. Like I said, I've never met them, and I would not claim to be outside of on this here because we're talking. But I would never put it on paper. I would never say, "Oh, I've got the right to speak for the Native American." I don't have the right. I was not raised that way. I did not face the trials and tribulations they faced. I was always looked at as a white person. Because, like I said, I might be 1/8 if that much. I mean, I'm very little Native American. My grandmother was half, but I don't know how much. Just what they consider the lineage. You know, does it have to be from the father? You know, I don't know that. I don't care. But like I said, the most I am is 1/8. That's the most. I'm more German than anything else, even with the last name Lee. You know. But what can I say? You know. So how's everything going, Leonard?
Oh, pretty good so far. Finally got my therapy started again.
That's good.
Yep.
But, well, Brandon, here, I'm going to have to address this. I agree with you. It's okay to be white, but it's okay to be anything else, too. I'm not ashamed of being white. Like I said, when I'm out there and anybody's talking to me, and if they ask me what I am, I tell them I'm white. I tell them I'm a mutt. I know I'm a German, Scottish, French, you know, and I run through pretty much everything. I'm a mutt. I'm a true American. I'm a melting pot.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I can't claim any one nationality over the other. I just can't do it. I consider myself Caucasian. And yeah, ask the hawk, Ed. It is okay to be green. I agree. Like I said, my best friend happens to be Chinese, which some people would say, well, that's yellow. Well, whatever color you want to call it, she's Chinese. I worked side by side when I was in the Navy and at some other jobs with blacks, Filipinos, and Hispanics. The only thing I ask when I'm working with somebody is that they do their job and they treat me with respect, and I'll treat them with respect. I'm not saying you have to respect me, I can't say you have to respect me. That's your choice. But I can say you got to treat me as a decent human being, and I'll treat you as a decent human being. And if you're talking about the extreme left, you're right. The extreme left thinks we all should apologize for things we didn't do. And I really don't want to get into too much of this. You know, what they're talking about happened over 200 years ago. And a lot of people forget the Republican Party was founded to fight against slavery. A lot of people don't realize that. Abraham Lincoln was the first Republican to run for the presidency. And that was their thing, was abolition. Get rid of slavery. Now, Lincoln, I don't think really, and I'm guessing here from what I read, wasn't wanting to get rid of slavery all at once. He wanted to stop the spread. And that's and the South didn't like the fact that they were going to keep, because back before the Civil War, every free slave state, a slave state was added. Okay? And what the Republicans wanted to do, except for the extremists, but I'm talking about the ones that wanted to get rid of slavery slowly, they wanted to stop expanding slavery. In other words, they would leave it in the states it was and let it die out. But there was going to be no more states added that were slave states. And there was some that said, hey, no, we got to get rid of all of it now. And so, then the war happened, and that's what happened. They got rid of slavery. I think it was a good thing that they got rid of it. Oh, Mommy, how you doing? But my favorite beer, I haven't had a beer in years, but I always like LeBlanc's Blue. If we're going overseas type beer, I always like San Miguel Painted Label. Not domestic, probably Bud, a Budweiser, a Busch was the beer I drink the most. But I haven't even had a beer in 3 or 4 years. And so now, Mommy, if you want your link drop, type in LLL. Don't type in anything else. Just type in LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your link. And anybody that wants to come up and join me and Leonard, come on up. But so, like I said, it just, we got to do what we can do, and I think that's why I keep saying be nice to each other, respect each other. We're all human beings, and we all want what's best for ourselves. I mean, let's be honest about it.
Yep.
I don't care if you're Catholic or Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist, or it doesn't matter. You want a better life than what, unless of course you're a multi-billionaire, then you got the better life. But most of us, especially the working class, we want what's best for ourselves, our families, our grandkids, our future grandkids. I don't have those things, but I want that better things for my nephews, my great nephews, my future great nephews and nieces. My great niece and my niece, I want them to be happy. So, I have those. I have nieces and nephews and great nieces and great nephews. And I want them and their kids to be safe and healthy and having a good life. We all want our family to be better off than what we are, I believe. like I said, unless you're a multi-billionaire, then your kids are going to be pretty good,
Yep.
But I don't have to be one of those people. But I understand, Tim. I'll tell you the truth. If I was going to have some lady come over tonight, I wouldn't be doing this live stream. I'd be cleaning up. But no, like I said, I work 12 hours today. I got to work 12 hours tomorrow. And like I said, I run around with a girl. I Woloch. She is my girlfriend in the fact that she's a girl, she's a friend, and we do things together. All right? We will travel together. We enjoy the same things. But we know that's where it is, But I tell people, there you go, Mame. That'll get your link dropped. And there, see? So anybody else, if you have a link you want it dropped, just put it in 3 L's. And it could be small L, it could be our capital L's, doesn't matter.
I got to get some more content before I start passing out my link.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I don't put up as much as I probably should.
Yeah.
I put up one or two things a week besides this.
Yeah.
That's it.
I got to get up to that.
Well, I haven't figured out. My grocery store video didn't do that great. It's a nice store, but it didn't do as great as I thought it would do a little bit better. But so be it.
I don't think anybody wants to look at grocery stores right now.
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe I know, but I was thinking maybe it might do a little bit better with the overseas crowd,
Oh, yeah.
To see
That's
what it's
true.
like. Either those that have not been here to see what it's like, or those that used to live here, but can maybe see a few of the prices, see
Yeah.
how it's going on.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about you have a pretty big overseas following.
Well, I don't know how big it is, but it's decent size. I mean, most of my people are here in the United States, and most of my people are male. But I do have a fair size in the Philippines, and then you get some other countries as well.
Yeah.
Let me see something. I look that up right now. That's what happens when you have two phones.
Yeah.
I do. I have two phones. I use one mostly for, I'll tell you in a minute, YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It has its own phone number, and it has data that I can use. And all right, but so it does have. All right, here it says 28.1% is 25 to 34. 46.9 is 35 to 44. And then 25% is 65 plus. This is the percentage of my viewers. Oh, wow. Females overtaking the males. Cool. Because it used to be, over 50% was male. And about 46% was female. All right. Now it says, this is the last time, we're only looking at the last 28 days. Males are only 38.5 and females are 61.5. And users specified they got a dot 0.0. So now the United States is 49.3. Philippines is 8.6. And
I actually thought you'd have more there.
I thought I would too. I used to have more there. But
Yeah.
you got to remember now, this is and that still means I got other people in other countries. Just either doesn't specify, or there are not enough people because I do know there's
Yeah.
a couple people in Thailand that watch.
Well, I know,
But,
I know there's a lot. I've heard you mention and seen you on
all right, we
live
got Mac
streams.
Daddy coming to the stream.
Hey, Ed.
Whoa,
Hey, gang.
how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys.
Nah,
Well, that's all right. I was just talking about my audience pretty much, but it shocked me that I now have more females than males.
Yeah, I noticed you
That
got a lot of females chasing you this week, Larry.
yeah.
Must be taking a page out of the Mac Daddy catalog.
I tell you, today I was at work, and like I said, I went from about 2,000 followers on my Lazy Larry Lee Facebook page, and by today I hit 5,000.
There you go. You got more pussy than you can shake a wet cat at.
No, let's quit using the language. Let's be nice here. We got women in this.
Oh, I'm
That's true.
sorry.
We got
I
women in this.
meant pets.
But anyway, I guarantee you, I would go for a little while, nothing, and then in a 10 or 15-minute span, I'd have 5 or 6 or more wanting to talk at the same time to me. On the chat, and I had people trying to call me, and I'm not going to do audio or video calls on Facebook. I'm just not going to do it. And now, Mac Daddy, Crystal's telling you hi.
Hi, Crystal. How you doing?
Hey,
Here's
Deborah.
my impolite.
Deborah, that's not pronounced. She pronounces it different than that. I'm trying to remember how she pronounces it.
I don't know how to
Deborah.
get everybody's chat up on here.
I don't know if you can watch on your cell phone and have the chat up. I don't know.
Maybe that's it.
I mean, because you're trying to stream. I got my cell phone. I'm streaming the live on my cell phone, but I'm
I got
streaming live on my computer. So I have the chat on my phone, and I just cover the picture up. I don't even see the picture because if I kept the picture up with the chat on my cell phone, to me it was distracting.
My vision's a problem tonight.
Yeah.
Everything looks foggy.
Yeah. You might
That's
need
why
to
I'm
get some
wearing these
glasses.
cheaters.
I need to get an operation. Take 15 minutes and nobody can do it for more than 6 months.
Well,
That's
you have to wait 6
frustration.
months.
What?
He said that's frustration.
Yeah. If I could go lay down and say, hey, knock me out, do my eye, it could be done next week. But they won't do both at once. And the get in line takes 6 months. So if I told them to do it now, they can't do me till June.
Yeah. My brother-in-law had to have surgery on his eyes, and no, they will not do both at one time. The reason is, I guess if the one screws up, then they don't want to do the other one.
I can't see out of the one anyhow. So it don't matter.
What I'm saying is, though, now if they screw the other one up, you're blind. So they need to do the one, get it fixed, and then they can do the other so you can still see.
But I can't see now. I'm blind. So I'm also doing both at once. Let's go. Yahoo! I'll take my chances. I'll sign away.
You're not going to talk them into that.
No, you're not. I know. But the one I'm totally blind in, the other one I'm going blind in, and come on, let's get it done. 15 minutes. Give me a half hour on the table, 2 different days. I'm out of there.
No.
6 months till they can even see me, and I'm fighting with my insurance company every step of the way. Anyhow, I didn't mean to interrupt everybody, and that's my frustration.
That's all right. We'll forgive you this once.
No, we won't.
I'm sorry, Larry.
But you got to know, Ed, in this crowd, you're going to get it.
Yeah, well, I I've had a hell of a couple days, let me tell you. I'm fighting with my son's school again. They don't want to give me more money for transportation. And I'm telling them I need it. I got to have the car right. You got to make me the school bus. You got to pay me more money. My son goes out to put a caliper and change the brakes on the car today. Snaps the bleed valve off on the caliper. Now I got to go get a caliper, so it means he's going to miss school on Monday, provided I can get one at the junkyard. And if I can't get one at the junkyard, then I got to order one. He'll miss a whole week of school because I don't have transportation.
Hey,
Boy,
that's not good. That is not good.
they make me the school bus. They won't transport them. I tell them I ain't got 30 buses parked out back. When one goes down, I can't jump in another one. So don't live in the hills.
I won't.
I do, though. I love it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I would hate it.
Why?
You're too far. The peace and quiet would drive me nuts.
I'm not too far from anything, though, Larry.
But the peace and quiet would drive me nuts. I've never lived in the country.
He's got that acquired sound need.
Yeah, but I live in
That's
the
not
country.
the right words, but
I live in the country, Larry, but where I live's not the country.
I'm going to tell you the truth, and it's not the sound so much. I don't like living where I cannot walk to anything I want. I live right now in a place I'm not that crazy about. I love the apartment. And I can walk to a couple places. It's just how safe is it because of the roads. But my favorite places when I was living in Terre Haute and in Leroy, both happened to have it. I could walk to the laundromat in Leroy. I could walk to a laundromat in Terre Haute. I could walk to a gas station. Back then I smoked. I can walk
to the gas station.
I could walk to the bar and walk home.
I can walk to the bar.
To the grocery store.
I can walk to the church. I can walk to the Family Dollar. I can walk to 2 bars, as a matter of fact.
I could
But
walk
I'm
to
in the
one.
country. I am like, I got lions and tigers and bears and rattlesnakes.
Oh my!
We got them all, baby.
you got rattlesnakes over there?
Yes, we got timber rattlers.
Oh
the
yeah,
most-
yeah.
Well,
They are, but they're not as bad as a lot of the others.
Yeah, but do you know what a timber rattler is?
Yeah, it's a rattlesnake that climbs freaking trees.
Well, no.
Well,
There's-
they do.
I don't know about that. There's a Pennsylvania rattlesnake.
Well, they got them in New York. Timber rattlers are also in New York.
And right.
Yeah,
and,
they got them in
and
Washington.
there's a black timber snake.
I don't know about
And when they
black.
crossed together and got together and had a little love fest with the timber rattler and the rattlesnake, you get a hybrid snake called a timber rattler, and it's the most poisonous snake in North America. And instead of being like brown and tan like a rattlesnake, they're black and gray and look like a rattlesnake print, look like a diamondback. They're also much bigger because the timber snakes are bigger. So we got timber rattlers.
Yeah, they got them in Washington. I've seen them.
Well, like I said, I don't know if they're the mix there, but they do have what they call timber rattlers.
They're the mix. You're on the border of Pennsylvania. They're the
And,
Appalachian timber rattler. They're a hybrid.
But they now I've not seen them. I don't go in the woods. Like I said, I'm a city boy. Our a small city or a large town. That's what I like. I like being, like I said, I like being able to walk to a restaurant. I like being able to walk
I can
anywhere.
walk down and get the bus and go to the restaurants.
No, I walk to the restaurant.
Oh God, we lost Leonard.
No, he's there. He put his picture. He's probably doing something.
Oh,
So he's still there.
Yeah,
He's back.
secret stuff.
he's rolling
probably had
up
to-
a joint.
So he probably had to
Certainly
blow
not
his
that.
nose. Probably had to blow.
Dan, you're good,
blow
Larry.
his nose.
Oh, wait a minute. There he goes. He's got his nose down. Got a $100 bill in his hand.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, this one.
If I had to blow my nose, I'd do the same thing.
I ain't talking about blowing his nose, but I am.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about blow.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't do that,
We've
unfortunately.
all heard of that.
But
We're a little past that.
Well,
So
I'm long past that. It's like, well, here in New York, weed's legal now. I'm long past that. I don't drink and drive. I haven't had a drink in probably 3-4 years, maybe longer. Not because I'm against drinking. I'm against drinking and driving to bars that are close enough to me. I don't like. I'm not going to go to a bar and sit in a bar to have a beer when I don't like the bar.
right.
I live by myself. My family and my close friends down here, none of them drink. So
I don't like the feeling of getting drunk anyhow.
I don't like to get drunk. Nope.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, who am I going to? I don't drink by myself. So who am I going to drink with? Nobody drinks.
And I
My
sold
younger-
beer for
my-
years.
My younger
Yes.
brother was the only one in my family that drank. Well, my nephew Tim, but he quit a long time ago. But my younger brother would drink beer, and I'd drink beer with him. My little sister once in a blue moon, but she lives in Terre Haute, and I would have to drive there or have her come pick me up, have our drinks, and take me home because I don't drink and drive.
Yep.
And
That's a
so
really
just-
good idea.
So it's like, if I don't live close enough, or if I'm not spending the night where I'm at, I'm not drinking. I'm going to be honest with you. Years ago, I had too much drink and got behind the wheel. Nobody got hurt. But I swore to God it would never happen again, and it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, I had a couple of times when I have no idea how I got home, but my car was there and I was there.
Yeah, I did that a couple of times, but this time I actually got picked up. I got it reduced to an infraction. Okay, so that doesn't really kill your record or anything,
Right.
but
I had a face down mud angel in my front yard one time. Instead of a
But,
snow angel, my yard was all
I'll
muddy.
bet that was fun.
Oh, I must have laid there for an hour until I got up. I was all covered in mud and grass. I went to get a shower. The next morning, I walk out. There's a mud angel in my lawn next to my driveway.
Yeah.
but like I said, it was cost me some money to get everything reduced and get out, and I thought, I could go to China. I could go to the Philippines. There was so many things I could do with the money I had to spend to get myself back out of trouble.
Yep.
And it's like, that's not going to happen again. If I'm going to spend that kind of money, I want a story that everybody's going to say, oh, Larry, you had fun. Not, oh, Larry, what the hell did you do? And so it's just, I swore to God it would never happen again, and it hasn't, and it's not. If I have my car with me, I will not have a drink, period. People say, oh, one drink won't hurt you. I don't care. One drink can lead to two. That's just not going to happen. And
If you don't
besides,
have one, you can't have two.
That's right. If you don't have one, you can't have too many. And
Yep.
because, let's be honest about it. You have a drink, you're having a good time. You think, oh, that's been long enough. I got to have another one. That's what happened the last time,
Yep.
I ended up having too many because, let's be honest about it, after you have a couple of drinks, your common sense or your sensibilities, whatever you want to say, kind of goes out the door. They're gone. So you're better off just not to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I say about common sense, don't you? Common sense ain't too common.
Yeah.
That's true.
That is very true.
It's becoming a rare commodity. That's
Yeah.
true.
Most people don't have any.
That's what I said. It's becoming a rare commodity. It's just like good manners.
Yep.
When I was younger, I'm not talking all that long ago even. Let's go back 15, 20 years, which is a long time to some of these young people. But
Yeah.
It used to be the right and the left could talk sensibly. They didn't hate each other, and they could work together to find a compromise.
Right.
Now you
Something
got
that
people-
actually helped the people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is, because if you're actually talking and looking for solutions,
You just
That's a
can't
good
talk
thing.
to the Republicans. They don't have any solutions.
I'm sorry, you can't talk to the left, the far left either. They're idiots. It's the truth.
Donald Trump.
I didn't say Donald Trump.
No, but
That's
let
not
me,
what-
let me say this. During his term in office, they increased the national debt by almost 30%, and now they don't want to pay the bill.
Yeah, you got the Democrats wanting to increase it again.
They're not trying to increase the national debt. They're just trying to increase the spending limit so we can pay the
So
debt.
we can pay the bill. And they raised it
Well-
3 times during the Trump administration like it was nothing. But now
Yeah.
that the Democrats got to raise it for the budget that they voted on last fall, both
Yep.
sides, they don't want to raise it.
Let's
Yeah,
put
that
it
was
this
a
way.
bipartisan bill.
They're trying to link it to spending, and it's not. It's what we've already spent.
Yeah.
No, they're wanting to give way too much money to certain. They want to give money to illegal aliens when they don't want to pay for the veterans
None of that's
that
true.
need help. All
None of that's
bullshit.
true. As a matter
Bullshit.
of fact, Larry, if you
Bullshit.
stop interrupting me and I'll tell you something, maybe you can learn. If you would allow the illegal aliens that you don't want to let in, and we all gave them green cards and let them get jobs, guess what they would do? They'd be
Pay
contributing to the national debt because they would be paying taxes. So therefore, your bullshit clause would be irrelevant.
Bullshit. We got a lot in here right now, right? There's a lot of illegal aliens in here. Now,
They don't have green cards.
hold on. They're working.
You didn't give
hold
them a
on.
green card to work, though.
Yeah, so
Hold
they're
on.
not paying taxes.
That's correct.
Let me finish.
Okay.
How many jobs do we have right now?
More than we can fill.
Oh, bullshit. You got people staying home being paid to stay home that don't want to work.
That has
And they're
nothing
still
to
paying
do
to
with,
stay.
that has nothing to do with how many jobs we can't fill.
Make those people go to work and quit giving them unemployment for not going to work.
Why don't we let the illegals come in and give them green cards and let them work the
I'm-
jobs that the Americans
not-
don't want to work?
I'm not against.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not against aliens. If they want to come in the right way. Before 9/11, I didn't just shut up and let me talk.
I'm letting you.
Before 9/11, I didn't give a rat's ass how they came in. All right? Did not friggin' care. But since 9/11, I want to know who the hell's coming in here and where they're going to be. Don't give me this bullshit that we can put them to work. No. You
No,
got
Larry,
too many
the thing-
terrorists, you
the
got
thing-
too many drugs and everything else crossing that border.
They can't.
And don't
They
tell me-
can't walk across with a
Bullshit.
handful of drugs.
Bullshit. They're letting them go.
That's not true.
No,
Oh,
it's
it is
not.
true. Yes, it
It's
is.
not true. They're not walking in with drugs.
No, they're sneaking in with the drugs. But they're if they catch them and they run, they don't chase them.
That's not true either.
That's
No, it's
true.
not.
You
too.
know so little
Yeah.
about the border, Larry. It's amazing. You
No,
you listen to the talking points and what they tell you.
I
and
watch.
not what reality.
Yeah, I listen. I listen to the custom officers that talk, the border patrol people. I don't listen to anybody else. The people down there that are doing the job. When they ask them and talk to them, that's who I listen to. Not
Well, they're
damn
not
politicians on either side. Oh, bullshit! They're down there. They're the ones on the line.
You're not listening though.
Yes, I am. I'm listening to
Okay,
them.
well, let me explain something to you. Maybe you'll understand. When you let these people in and you sign them up and you do it properly, you document them coming through the door and you give them work permits. And I suggest that they give them not 6-month work permits, but 2-year work. Which, let me finish. 2-year work permits, and let them stay and work for 2 years. Look at what they've done, and extend it for maybe up to 2 more, like other countries. and they will be covering your. They will be paying taxes and paying Social Security and paying for entitlement programs.
Let me tell you what I think about that. I'm with you. Let them in and let them work, but make them come in the right way. Have an area where they got to come in, stop, talk, register. That's where they get their green card, not just come across the border like they're doing right now. And don't tell me they're not doing it, because they are.
They're forced to just walk across the border because we're not letting them in regardless.
Title 42 has caused a lot of problems with that.
Like I said, wait a minute. You had your say. Now let me have my say.
And I got one for you.
Like I said, I'm not against them coming in. I'm against them just coming in and being let go anywhere they want to go.
Yeah, but you're talking
about hold it. I'm not done. I'm saying they need to stop. They need to register. They need to get the permit. They need to know where they're going, and that's where they need to be. If they don't go where they're going, say they're going. I don't care where it is, Timbuktu or Hullabaloo. I don't care. But they need to say, this is where I'm going, and I'm going to try to find work there. If they want to leave there, then they got to get a hold of somebody and let them know they're leaving. We can set all this up. 87,000 goddamn IRS agents, they can take that money and put it towards this problem. Because you don't need 87,000 IRS agents.
No, you need more.
No, you need less.
That actually isn't enough, because they can't keep up with the workload now.
But let me tell you this, Larry, and you're missing it. Larry, can I get in here for a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
You keep talking about them just coming over the border. More people fly into the airports and walk away than come through the border.
Then we got a real problem, because over 2 million come through the border.
Right.
Last year.
Right. More people fly in. More people fly in and walk across the border, and there's less done about it. So
we got to enforce our immigration laws.
Well, no, yeah, I'd love to, but the Republicans won't rewrite them.
We won't even let us enforce
we don't have
what
to
they
rewrite
have.
them. We just need to enforce them.
No, you got to rewrite them.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do, or you won't be letting nobody in like they're trying to do now.
People can come in if they are coming into the right area and apply for asylum. It's not illegal.
That's applying for asylum. That's not coming across the border. There's two different issues.
That's actually the biggest thing they're doing right now, Ed, is kicking off the people that are coming in for asylum and not letting them apply for it.
No, what it is,
yeah, but
what it is they're not coming in the right way. The ones coming in for asylum, they're trying to cross the border illegally instead of going through the other way. Coming across that border illegally doesn't matter what you're coming across that border for. If you don't do it the right way, it's still illegal. I'm saying do it legal.
Well,
but the Republicans will not rewrite the law to let it happen.
I'm sorry, the Democrats could have rewrote their law, because who had the control of the don't go give me that no. Who had the control of the Senate last year?
It didn't get done.
Hold on. Who had the control of the Senate last year?
It didn't get done.
No, you're not answering my question.
Larry, you need 60 votes. 51.
All they had to do but all they had to do was get 10 conservative, moderate, and they have.
But they couldn't.
They couldn't get them. That's why it didn't happen.
Exactly.
They couldn't get them to vote for it.
You control the Senate, you control the House, and you got the presidency. Don't go blaming everything on the Republicans. If you'd have wrote a sensible bill, you would have got some that voted for it. You got Republicans that vote for things that people call them rhinos for. Believe me, there is a lot of Republicans that Republicans don't want. No, I don't care. I'm in a Democrat state. My guy's going to be Democrat whether I want him to be or not. All right? I'm surprised that lying son of a what's his name down on Long Island got elected.
Santos?
Yes. But I'm just saying, though, I'm in a Democratic state, so don't give me
this. Out he made a mistake the other day. His mother didn't die during 9/11. She died at 7/11.
Yeah.
He's also not Jewish. So what,
Right.
Well,
everything he said in his bio has been kicked out.
They're about ready to arrest him, because where did he get the money? He can't prove where the money came from.
Hold on. I I got to talk to David FP here. He says, I'm having a drink and I'm a conservative. I voted for Trump. And the drink is the only thing I would reconsider.
That's a good one because Trump's a loser. He's a liar and a thief.
Yep.
I don't know about that. I'm not going to get into that.
Well, I only know
oh,
before he came president, he ripped off friends of mine in Atlantic City.
Well, he's got a long track record.
Yes, he does.
But you can't tell me Biden's any better.
I can tell you Biden's a lot better.
Oh God, you're dumb.
I guess
if you think Biden is a
Biden didn't rip friends of mine off for over $500 million in Atlantic City.
He ripped the United States off.
Biden didn't rip the United States off. How do you say that?
Let's see now. He was in cahoots, and then they proved that he's had meetings with Chinese when he's vice president that he said he never had. His son, no, go check it. They got it. It's on his records for.
Now he's going to bring up Biden's son. How about we bring up the Trump family?
They even have pictures of him meeting with these people he said he never met. Now I'm not saying I'm saying he's as bad as Trump. I'm not saying anything else.
Well, you drank the Kool-Aid. That's all I can tell you.
No, you drank that Kool-Aid a long time ago. I have voted. Have you ever voted Republican? I have voted Democrat. Come on, tell me. Have you ever?
I voted Republican. Yes.
When
I lived in Bucks County.
No, national. Have you ever voted Republican?
No, and I won't.
I have voted for Democratic candidates for president.
You're talking about for president?
Yes, I voted Democrat.
I have never voted for Republican for president because there hasn't been one in my lifetime worth voting for.
Oh, bullshit. Reagan.
We kicked Oz out of PA.
Reagan was the biggest piece of shit ever came along.
And he won the.
We threw Oz out. We threw out Mastriano. We just kicked a bunch of Republicans out of PA.
What did he do, Larry?
He had the biggest landslide victory of all time. The only state he didn't carry in his second election, the only state
Republican white supremacy
was massive. Hold it. You know who founded the Ku Klux Klan?
I don't care who founded it. I'm talking about
the Democrats
today.
You know who passed the civil rights? The Republicans. Look it up. It wasn't. It was the Republicans. Go check your history book.
I actually, as a matter of fact, just saw that yesterday.
The Republicans are the ones that passed it.
Yeah, but let's not talk about. Wait a minute. Let's not talk about the past. Let's talk about what we got today.
That's what we've been talking about. The past and today. A bunch of Republicans, Southern Republicans, because the Republicans passed the Civil Rights Bill, went to the Democratic side because they did not like the fact that the blacks were being treated better. So give me your good old Southern Democrat.
The biggest problem, one of the biggest problems with the Republican Party is they claim themselves to be conservatives to buy all of the religious votes. They make everybody think they're conservative, so they're more religious.
Yeah,
that's the biggest lie going.
And who are the ones saying the whites are the worst people ever? The Democrats.
Saying the whites are the worst people ever?
Oh, yeah. White males are the worst people ever if you listen to the Democrats.
That's not anything at all what they're saying.
That's no Democrats.
That's what your liberal left, your left liberals.
I don't have that.
Your elites.
No.
I didn't say you did. I don't have that problem. But the liberals, the elitists, are the ones pushing we got to make reparations. The whites got to be You watch anytime that somebody puts down a white male, and they do it a lot. You can check it on YouTube and stuff. You will find out they are a liberal. You go to the colleges, and they will be up there saying the whites are the cause of all problems. White males, we're the cause of all this country's problems.
I don't find it. I guess I don't.
That sounds like a feminist statement.
Yeah, I don't find the same channel.
You will see males getting up and saying that too.
Well,
this is
that's
the elitists, the college.
that's
This is
that's
what's being
just
taught in college.
that's just the guys who have bought into the feminist movement.
Yeah.
But that is all the college. Almost all your liberal colleges are that way. Almost all of them.
Nah,
Yes.
I don't think so, Larry.
I don't either.
Yes.
I don't agree to that.
I'm not saying all the students. I said all the colleges, the instructors, the.
Well, let me give
Go
you a
check
few
it out.
people. Let me ask your opinion on a few people. What do you think of Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren
She's an
Boebert?
idiot. They're idiots, but that's beside the point. I told you before, you got idiots on both sides. You just don't want to admit you have idiots on your side.
What do you think of Katie Porter from California?
I don't know her, so I can't give you any.
I don't
opinion.
know her either.
Oh wow!
I've never heard of her.
Look her up on YouTube.
I'm going to tell you something.
Big fan.
California, they're nuts.
This lady's
Well,
not.
he's got a point. He's got a point.
But what I'm saying is, let's get off the politics, guys.
yeah. We went down that rabbit hole too far.
Yeah.
I don't want
You
to
gotta remember
solitary
now-
friends.
Kind of two against one.
Well, not only that, we got people here from another country. They don't give a rat's ass about our politics. If you
Oh, the
want to have a
Philippines
debate,
are-
The Philippines is worse.
no, the Philippines is not.
No,
A lot more corruption in the Philippines.
There's
Yeah,
corruption
just-
everywhere.
it's not
There's
more. It's
corruption
just
everywhere.
more open.
I won't say there's more.
Their
No.
barangay
It's
system
more open.
very,
I,
Very
I,
limited.
no, I'm not going that route at all.
No, I can't follow you
No.
on that one yet.
You're going down a rabbit hole I disagree with.
Yep.
Because, like I said, the United States, if you think we're above corruption, you're nuts.
I never said we were above corruption, Larry.
We're no better. When it comes to corruption, we're no better than any other country. I believe in term limits, but we won't get them.
Not
I was
not
looking
now
for that
anyway.
too.
Not at this
I
point.
believe no. Now Indiana has term limits for certain positions. A governor cannot serve more than 2 terms.
Yeah.
On that in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah, but
Well,
not all
Texas,
states have that.
Texas used to, but they changed it so Abbott could run again this year.
And I got to tell you, I know a lot about Eastern Europe because they sell Eastern European beer, including Russian beer. I'm for a free Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm for everybody being free.
Because
If hold on. Like I said, we're not going to talk much politics, but we'll go this one. If your people have free elections and can elect, then I'm saying let the people decide, and nobody should be able to come in and influence that election.
Right.
So if Ukraine says we want to be free, we're free. Russia should not be able to go in there and say, "Oh no, we want this and we want that."
the
No.
Russians are terrorists in the Ukraine. They're bombing women and children.
It's just pure imperialism.
But,
And-
like I said,
It'll be
And-
real
and-
nice the day the Ukrainians kick the Russians out of Crimea. That's coming.
It very easily could with all these new tanks they're getting.
But we're going to stop that right now. We all in agreement that Ukraine should be free, and let's just let it go with that.
Yeah,
All right.
I
But,
agree. Let's end it on a positive note here.
Slavic.
I don't know about ending, but in that part.
Well,
of
I
it,
mean
it's
that
not positive.
discussion.
But now, like I said, I happen to know that I'll have 2 bills paid off this year, and
Good
the
job.
third one that the third one I'll have paid off next year, and then I'll just have my car payment, and I can get rid of the car anytime I want and get rid of that bill.
I
Right.
have no debt.
No, you're lucky.
I'm not
We don't.
under the table. I'm an American. We do.
I went into debt to buy my property, and I paid it off in less than a year.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
I can't make the kind of money you can right now.
No, me either.
You got. It's not make the money, it's make the deal.
Well,
But
same
you gotta-
difference.
You have to make the money too. All
I
right, I'm
bought
not-
an acre and a half for $5,000.
yeah, but what I'm saying is though, You make some money that I can't make, is what I'm saying.
Not lately. I ended that.
Did you? Well,
I
good
got
for you.
I got cut off, and I can't really run my still in the snow.
But
So
like I said,
I
Now,
found out
Brandon-
why I got cut off too.
yeah.
When they were in the place looking at his operation, they asked him where the blue jar came from.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He had one of my blue jars. So I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah.
The guy was like, okay. They still don't know who I am,
Yeah.
but they know my
Keep it that
jar.
way. Yeah, you better keep it that way.
They know my jar.
Yeah. So you got to be
Well,
shut down.
I don't have to shut down. They can't trace the jar. Ball makes a million of them.
Yeah.
But they asked him about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I gotta pull back for a little bit."
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
But like I said, last year you still was able to do it. But like I said, you got to remember, I still travel. I still do some other things. And so
I won't have
Yeah.
Maple Mountain Mist available, folks, till March.
in March, I will have a anniversary of sorts. It'll be 24 years since I quit smoking in March.
Well,
That's a beautiful
congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. But in March, I can start to still up with lager yeast.
We got another JLB here that changed his name. JLB still can't get into the Philippines. So how you doing, man? And glad to have you here, sir. But
I got my cat sleeping next to me.
yeah. Well, I don't have any pets. Like I said, I live by myself. I
You should
could
have a penthouse pet, Larry.
I could have a cat.
Now you need a
Cat-
penthouse pet.
Yeah, it costs more money than I can afford.
Something
But anyway,
with please.
a cat you can leave by themselves all day long while you're at work. But I will never have a cat here in New York because you can't declaw 'em. And that's
Why would
fine.
you need to declaw a cat?
Because they tear up your
If-
furniture.
They tear everything up.
My cat
I-
doesn't care
I'm-
anything. None of them.
Yeah, but you're home with them.
No,
I've had,
I don't have
I've had
any.
cat.
They won't
I've
do
had-
it.
I've never declawed a cat. All right, never have.
I don't even know where you would get a cat declawed. They don't declaw them like they used to. My cats are cool.
If it's legal, veterinarians will declaw.
My cat wouldn't even my cat wouldn't. None of my cats.
No, Phil's not up here, JLB. I don't
And
know
even
if
if I'm not
anybody's
home
Phil.
all day, none of my
not-
cats will claw up my furniture or anything.
My favorite cat was named Retread. She was a trip. I called her Retread because she was always underfoot being treaded on. She'd climb up, get on my shoulder as I'm watching TV, and on the back of the couch and on my shoulder. She was never declawed. But whenever I wasn't around, she'd tear. If I left her in the house, she would tear things up. Well, I'm not going to have a cat at this apartment and force her out every day when I go to work.
No, you don't have to
Right.
do that. You just teach them to. You give them
I'm not
something
home.
that's theirs to claw.
How do I do that when I'm not here?
You give them something that's theirs to claw, and I got this catnip spray that you spray on it, and when they are clawing it, they get this catnip spray on their paws. It's like liquid crack. They start licking their paws, and they learn to only abuse their things and not yours.
Yeah.
It works.
Well, I don't want to get them addicted
Why not?
because they're silly enough without being addicted.
Yeah.
Now, JLB, no, what we have Phil, which has got the headphones on his ears, and we got Mac Daddy, who's Edward Beck Jr., Edward D. Beck Senior.
I'm not Phil.
Senior. I know he didn't tell me who was. He goes, "Is that Phil up there?" I don't know which one he thought was Phil.
None of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
none of us.
So, because he goes, "Hi, Phil." It's like I'm looking for a Phil. I don't see one. And then he said, "Is that Phil up there?" So
Maybe you
I'm
got to
just
fill
telling you.
down in the chat.
I don't see a Phil in the
know.
chat.
I haven't seen one, but I haven't watched it that close.
Every once in a while, names will slip past me.
So Larry, man, there's been more Filipino girls that are bouncing off of your website into my friend me on YouTube, and I look up who their friend is. It's Lazy
It's
Larry.
Larry. Yep.
Yeah, man, he must have.
I've had a
50
bunch of them.
You too, huh?
Yeah, I've had a bunch of them.
I'm telling you, what makes you so fly, Larry?
I have no clue. I really do not.
Oh,
Like I said, I had a very small.
I'll bet you. That's what you tell them. You got a small one. They like that, huh? I
Yeah,
don't know. Is it a little kissy, smoochy going on? We don't know.
yeah, but anyway, like I was
I
saying,
did notice that too, though, Ed.
I had a,
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. I'm like, what the hell's he doing to be so fly?
I know.
I have no clue. 2 weeks
It's the
ago,
hat. It's the
I
hat.
think it is.
Because
it's
he always
the
has the hat on that picture.
yeah,
What
like I
they
said,
have, yeah.
about 2 weeks ago, I had maybe about 1,500 to 2,000 followers, and that
You got
was
like
it.
naked pictures online or something, Larry? What is it?
Not me. But anyway, like I said, I went from that 1,500 to 2,000 2 weeks ago to
There
today.
it
I hit 5,000.
Wait a minute. Can you say that again? Was it me? He sounds like Shaggy. Could that be it?
Hey. I'll do Fat Albert instead. Hey. I just love to play football.
You know where that was all from? That was from Cosby in Philly.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the Cosby Kids. Fat Albert.
Yeah. Yep.
I used to be able to sound just like Fat Albert, but I can't do it anymore.
Cosby lives over in Elkins Park,
Well, Cosby,
Philly.
I lived in,
Road.
and oh, by the way, Ed, JLB just said hi, Big Ed.
Hey JLB, how you doing? Big shout out.
That's JLB still can't get into the Philippines. That's who that is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his name was before.
You know, it's been so rainy and so hot over there. We're not missing much, gang.
It's actually rainy and cold from what I've been hearing.
I'm gonna wait. Cold.
Well,
No,
for there.
cold.
For
Yeah.
there.
I'll take that rainy and cold over the snow and cold air. All
Well,
right?
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I like that idea of rainy over there because most of them women are braless and, get them high beams after the rain.
Well, hello, Larice. How you doing?
Hey, Larice, how you doing?
Sammy popped up on my thing too the other day.
Did she?
Is that a
That's
she
cool.
or a he?
She presents herself as a woman.
I don't know. How do you refer to her or him?
Most of us
she.
that are friends call her she.
I mean, I try to be a wise guy. I just don't know.
Well, I know. And that's what I'm saying. Those of us that are her friends refer to her as she because that's how she presents
But
herself.
she will tell you she's a lady boy if you ask.
Oh, yeah. Even if you don't, probably.
Yeah.
I thought she was a TT,
A TT?
a
I
tree
have no
trunk.
clue what to.
I never heard of that one.
No.
Yeah.
But no, she's a real good person.
Oh, no
Very
doubt.
good friend.
Yeah, she's a good friend. She'll help you if you're a friend of hers. She'll help you if she can.
That's
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
People are nice. We should all be so nice to each other.
Oh yeah, that's what I said.
Exactly.
Now, Larice, I don't know how to do it. I'd give you a cup of coffee and a donut, but I hope you're all right. I got my coffee maker behind me, but I don't drink coffee this time of night.
Yeah, it's nighttime here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If I had a cup
Right.
of coffee now, I'd be like a hamster without a wheel.
According to
Yeah,
my
it's
cell
like
phone,
10:30 or a.m. Tomorrow morning over there.
yeah, it's 10:33. It's 9:33 here, so
Yeah.
it's 10:33 over there. until our time change. Right now, we're 13 hours difference. When the time change happens, we'll be 12 hours. And I
Yep.
think we're going to stay at that, I hope.
That was
I
the
hate
last
this.
rumor I heard.
Yeah. New York's going to stop. And as far as I know, it's after this one, not do this and then one more time. As far as I know,
Yeah.
it's after this
Well,
one.
that'll make it
You-
real confusing living in Pennsylvania because you jump the PA New York border a lot.
No, sorry about
Well,
that.
aren't
but we're
you
not-
aren't you in Eastern time?
I'm on Eastern Standard Time.
Right. So
But
when
if-
it goes to daylight savings time, that's where it's going to stop, and it's not going to change anymore.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
think
know.
it's
That
not
was
going
what-
to change in
That's what they
PA.
said. Huh?
And if
Yeah,
it does,
that's
I,
national.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think so. And they were going to do this last year, last spring.
They've
But
actually
the,
talked about it for a while.
Well, they were going to do it last spring, but the airlines and train stations, they all complained, "Oh, we need more time to adjust our schedules." So I guess they got their schedules figured out well in advance instead of just adjusting them. They had to ask for another year. So
Well,
they
you
gave them
know,
another year.
A good computer programmer could have done that in 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I said. For some odd reason, they didn't want to.
Because they got rail switches and everything. That's all got to be changed.
Yeah, but
Well, that's all electronic and all done by clocks.
it
So
was going to be 6 months. They had plenty of time to get people in there to work that out. But they did. They said they couldn't do it within that time frame, so I gave them a year.
Beyond my
Well,
yeah,
That's beyond my capability, but
that's what I'm saying. A good computer programmer could have taken care of all that in very short order.
I had a crazy problem this week.
hold on. I'm going to read this. It's a political thing, but it's nothing bad. David FP says, guys, check out John Phillips Plumbing YouTube channel. He's a Democrat that is hilarious and wants to mend fences between Dems and it says reps, but I think he means Republicans.
Yeah,
Really funny channel, and he's a master plumber. So anybody that would be interested, there's something. Like I said, I like the old days when the moderates outnumbered everybody. You had a moderate Democrat and moderate Republican, and they outnumbered the fringes. It seems now the fringes outnumber the moderates in their own party, so the parties go towards the
fragmented.
right. So they go to the left or the right, depending on whether they're
I think it's
conservative or-
sad what happens in the Republican Party because they kind of got like hijacked by the maniacs.
Yeah.
But so did I'm sorry, but so did the Dems.
Well,
So,
not to the same degree though.
right.
you got AOC running things. I'm sorry.
She's
you
not
got the
running
squad-
anything.
Right, she ain't
You
running
got-
anything.
The only thing she's running is her mouth. She isn't
Yeah.
in charge of anything.
And
was.
she's not really running anything. I mean,
Her and the
No,
squad.
she's not. She's
know what's
not
cra-
ahead of any of the committees or anything.
no, not at all.
Like I said, though, they seem to pull a lot of weight with Biden. Biden listens to them a lot, and I'm talking about the whole squad, all five of them.
As far as medical goes, that's like we should be socialists when it comes to medical anyhow. Everybody
Yeah.
needs medical.
I'm not going to dispute medical.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Right? That's when you step right up and get online with us. We love it.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No. It's just common sense.
Well, we
No,
all
and
need medical, and we all don't need a medical.
I don't need it. I have the VA, so no, I don't. I'm not
Well,
getting
right.
on because of what you guys want. I'm doing
No,
it
but
because
you don't need it.
No,
No,
but
you
you're
absolutely need
not
it.
disagreeing.
have it
But the
covered
point
differently.
is,
the thing,
everybody needs medical, and it should be bipartisan without any question.
another
We
thing.
pay more for medical than anybody in the world, and that's
Exactly.
not the best.
And our prescription drugs cost us 8 or 10 times as much as anywhere
Did
else in the
you
world.
see what they want to do with the COVID vaccine now that the government's not going to be
They want
paying
to start
for it anymore?
charging. They want to start charging $135 or something.
135 to 150 bucks a shot, and they want it to be annual.
They can keep the shot. I've had 3, and I'm not getting another one.
Well,
I've had 2.
I've had
3.
I've had
And I've-
3, and I
And
would
I've,
go.
I've
to the
resisted.
annual.
I've resisted the last
I'll-
one. Just
I did too. It took a
not
long
really
time to
resisted.
get
It
the
just
last
didn't make
I'm
the
going to
effort.
tell you the truth.
I
I don't
didn't
have to pay. I don't have to pay a damn thing for the shot.
I
No,
didn't
I
need
don't either. But
I
I
get
got
it through
my-
the VA.
the federal government covered it for everybody.
yeah,
No, I'm talking about they go now. Even before the federal government got involved, my flu shot cost me nothing a year. Nothing.
You
I
can get
get
the
it through the
shot
VA.
free everywhere every year.
No, you
yeah.
don't.
The flu shot.
I do.
Well, all over down here and in Arizona, place I've been, the flu shot's been free. But
Yeah,
It
but
might be, but they want your insurance information.
oh yeah,
In New York, you got to give them insurance information before they'll give you that shot.
yeah.
I got them all for
And
free.
that's so if you have a problem from it, they can ding the insurance company and not have to cover it themselves.
But like I said, I get it. I've always got it. I got it through the VA.
Yeah,
They don't charge me for any shot that I have to have. I got the single shot, pneumonia
They're going
shot.
to say that we're going to need.
They do not. The VA does not charge me for any shot.
okay, just
Every
a
shot I
question
got
now that you
good free.
mentioned it, Larry, because I
Well, we're
don't
going
know.
to need a COVID shot annually or biannually every 2 years.
I
The way
don't
they're
know
talking-
that, and I don't
The way
think
they're
they do
talking
either.
is the way they're talking either every year or every 6 months.
Nah, they're talking
And-
eventually
oh, yeah.
every 2 years.
Well,
But you know
that's
what?
possible. I don't know for sure.
I'm
But
not
Larry-
getting another. I'm not getting another shot. Period.
Larry, just a simple question here, because I don't know the answer to this. On the shingle shot, is that a one-time shot, or do you have to have boosters?
From my understanding, it's a one-time shot because I got it through the military. I got it through the VA,
Yeah.
and they've never asked me about it again.
Yeah, I want to
That's
get
what-
the single shot.
See, I've had.
Well, I
I've
had
the
I had
measles.
chicken pox when I was a kid.
And
And they
I
yeah,
had
say that
chicken
means you
pox
got
and
it in you.
measles. Yeah, it's in you. And if you can,
The thing
if you,
about
if,
it is, if you have chicken pox once, you never get it again.
yeah, but you can get shingles.
and shingles.
Yeah, it
will
doesn't
drive
make
you-
sense.
Shingles
And
will
shingles.
be really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
My
chicken
co-
pox at your nerve endings is what it is.
My cousin George were the same age. He had shingles.
Yeah.
Shingles
And,
is really painful, and you're going to have it for like 6 months.
I had actually I knew he was an attorney, an older guy, and at the time he was older. I mean, he was older than me. He was in his 70s, and he
He's older than me.
had the shingles. Yeah,
I know somebody that got shingles on their ribs.
Oh, my cousin had it
well,
on
he
his
got
back.
it all over his back,
My
and
cousin had it on his back.
yeah, he told me how bad it was.
Well, you can't wear a shirt. It's really painful.
Like
I
I
don't
said,
like to wear a shirt anyway.
It's like
What-
right
what-
now with myodemia, my legs are so raw, and you want to keep them out in the air so they dry up and heal faster.
Right.
I can't wear pants.
You can wear shorts, all right.
I'm wearing, well, of course.
Like gym shorts or something.
I ordered carpenter shorts. I'm wearing blue jeans that are got the hammer hook on the side, the cell phone pocket.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my legs, I smell like death. Oh my God.
Gotta wash them.
I do every day. Well, I it's hard to wash them because it's so painful. I use paper. I use clean
Do you have any ammunition at home?
ammunition.
You know, for a gun, bullets, shells, loaded ones.
No, why?
I was gonna say put one in your mouth and bite it so you can get through the pain.
No, I actually I use
Bite the bullet.
I use I buy paper towels, like the really good ones, and I
Oh yeah.
keep my wounds clean. But it's hard to wash them. I do use a little bit of peroxide here. And
I
there.
was just gonna suggest that. Yeah.
But oh my
Have you
God!
have you done anything about eating style I told you about.
I've changed my eating style. I'm eating to cut my caloric intake. I eat a lot more raisins these days.
Okay,
I-
raisins are carbohydrates.
Hold
Raisins
on.
create glucose.
They,
That's not
yeah,
good
but
for you.
I'm not eating tons of them. See, I don't have the diabetes problem so much. I found out.
Well,
All right,
That's
hold,
good.
hold on a minute. I want to address JLB over here.
oh,
He
okay.
goes, someone else made a tell-all JLB video where he was calling him a creepy scammer and a user of Filipino women. Mr. Poppycock called him a Filipino pimp. I guess that doesn't make you want to run to JLB's channel now, laughing out loud. No, it does not make me want to go to his channel.
I don't know. But I cut a lot of calories out of my diet by switching to raisins.
Well, the thing is, it's not calories you have to worry about. It's carbohydrates you have to worry about.
No. If you're trying to lose weight, if you don't worry about diabetes, if you don't have diabetes, then it's calories.
Actually,
for
actually,
me, it's
the
both.
same.
For
Actually,
me, it's
it works
both.
the same.
Right.
You have a very low carb, high fat, medium
But-
to high protein diet.
But here's the other thing, Leonard. When I say I switch to raisins, I don't eat a cupful. I don't eat a quarter cupful. I eat a pinch.
Well, that
And-
might be small enough just to curb your craving or something.
Well,
What
what
I-
I find that it does, it curbs my food cravings
Yeah.
because they're long
Best-
burn and they are very nutritious.
The
The thing-
best
the-
thing, the best thing to curb your food cravings is the high fat.
And
And that's
the
animal fat.
high
Yeah.
protein.
High protein
Now-
and high animal fat.
I was watching a video online. Some doctor was talking about the best nuts for people with diabetes.
Oh, that was probably
It's walnuts
Stan
and
Eckler.
Brazil nuts.
I'm not sure who it was. I can't remember. But
I think I saw the same video. That's why I'm saying that.
Pecans are
Yeah.
good. Walnuts,
Yeah.
Brazil nuts, filberts, or
yeah,
hazelnuts.
the filbert and the I'll tell you the pecans, the walnuts, the cashews, and the filberts.
The black walnut is the best.
He didn't say
I get
what
them
walnut.
for free where I'm
Right.
at. Because every fall I
Yeah.
go pick them by the bucketful.
I
Yeah.
just watched it Thursday night.
California walnut is what most people get.
It sounds like one I just watched recently too.
Yeah, I just watched it Thursday night. So last night after I got off work, or yesterday afternoon,
Black
I went and
walnuts
bought
are
it.
the best
I
walnut.
went and bought a large container of mixed nuts. Had no raisins, had no peanuts because peanuts is
The guy
No,
from
I-
Camden, New Jersey, nuts.com.
that's not him. But the peanut is the worst nut.
It's the worst
said-
nut. Yeah.
The
It's
peanut
actually
is
not
not
even
a
a
nut.
nut.
But
It's
It's
a
a
piece of
legume.
tuber.
it's also the pistachio is supposed to be the best, but I don't care for pistachio.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
there's-
supposed to be one of the best. Yeah.
Almond.
The
Any peanut.
almonds and pistachios are the two best.
Brazil
They're the
nuts
two best.
way high up there.
Yeah.
But-
And they
but
come in
they're-
That's
another
my
big
favorite
size.
nut.
Brazil, they're my favorite.
Yeah. Brazil nuts
that-
are my favorite.
but
And
that's-
nuts.com
I think
has
of-
them all.
But a Brazil nut, isn't that a filbert? I
No.
believe it. A hazelnut's a filbert.
A hazelnut's a filbert. A Brazil nut is off a tree in the Amazon.
Yeah, they're
But,
And
but
they're
that
they
is
have
not a filbert.
really, really hard dark brown
Yeah,
shell. that
I,
looks
I,
like-
I like the Brazil nut.
they're big. You know, they're
I
big.
know. Well, you can get them smaller, but usually if you
Well,
get the
Nah,
good
not
ones, they're
Brazil
big.
nuts. Can't throw it.
And
Well,
the shell's
they
almost,
are
size of
some
your little
right
toe,
small, but
now the shell is like a triangle almost.
Yeah.
kind of yes, and it's very
it's
hard.
three-sided. Yeah, but it's
And
three-sided.
it's
Very
like
hard
10
shell.
of them that come in that pod.
But
They
anyway,
break the big pod to give you those little nuts.
Yeah,
And they're from the Amazon. They're generally wild sourced out of the rainforest.
yeah.
but like I said, so I bought the mixed nuts.
You know what
took
else
enough
is good
in.
for you?
That was my snack today, and I got enough for a snack
It's
tomorrow.
the world's
I'll
oldest
be
snack.
eating on them for When I'm done,
Yeah.
it'll be 4 days.
You know, most of your mixed nuts don't have Brazil nuts in them anymore.
They're very expensive.
Yeah, they are.
This one doesn't have any Brazil nuts in it.
And I buy broken Brazil nuts to get a discount on them. Do you know what the world's oldest snack food is?
Can't say.
The bejeweled date.
I would believe that.
And I get bejeweled dates sourced from the
Hey,
Middle East.
Moni TV, how you doing? I didn't see you come in.
They can have a lot of sugar in them, though. But they're very
And, hold
Yeah.
on, guys. Monets are Monets. Miones. TV's saying hi to you guys. And hi to
How you
everyone
doing?
else in the
How are
chat.
you doing?
I say my nose, my
Monies?
owns, my owns.
Mounds? How I
Are
apologize for
my
mispronouncing.
ones, my ones, because ONES in English would be ones. My ones.
Correct.
I'm not sure. Like I said, it's her name, but one of these times I'll have to ask her to on
Yeah.
a live stream how she pronounces it. Like
Yep.
I said, Deborah is Deborah, but she pronounces it Deborah. It's her name.
Yeah.
She can pronounce it the way she
Oh,
wants.
Deborah. Yeah, names
Deborah?
names don't follow any rules. They're
No,
whoever
no,
owns them.
no.
Whoever owns them.
Well, not only that, what country are you in?
Exactly.
I mean, she's in the Philippines. That may be everybody pronounces it. I don't know. I'm not Filipino,
Yeah,
so I don't know.
I agree.
And that's the way she pronounces it. So I try to remember to pronounce it correctly. I don't always do it, but I try. She's
Well, thanks
she's
for
got a great. I love her
I
channel.
would not have known that.
Well, if you ever watch some of her videos, she'll when she says her name, that's the way she says it.
Yeah.
Deborah.
Well, I plan on watching some, but I haven't
Well,
yet.
I've been watching some of hers. I don't catch her live streams very often, but I'll catch some of her other videos. And I go to her channel and watch some.
Yeah, I miss some of the ones I regularly try to follow because I have so many that pop up. And I haven't seen them before, so I check them out, and then I find out I'm missing somebody else.
Yeah.
So,
And, I just went back and checked some people that haven't posted anything in 2 or 3 months, and so I deleted them. If
Yeah.
you're not putting stuff up, I need to cut back on the number of people I'm following.
yeah, I've got way too many of them trying to follow. There's
Well,
no way I can do justice to any of them.
I try to watch at least 1 or 2 videos of all of them every
Yeah.
month, if not every week. Depends on how much they post. Some
Right.
I watch a little more, some I watch a little less. And I'm not trying to be rude or it's just there's so many people.
Yeah.
And
Well, there's a
so-
couple of them that I follow that I really enjoy and
Well,
like to watch, but they do 1 or 2 a day.
Oh yeah.
I
So
enjoy Philly in the Philippines.
He's okay.
Brian's
I-
pretty good.
Yeah, he's okay. I don't know. I'll watch him once in a while if the
Well,
title looks like it might be interesting. But
He used to do a lot more, and I thought be a little bit better than he is these days.
yeah,
But you can only do so much of the same thing. He's been doing it for 5 years.
yeah, and it's all Walking Street.
yeah.
Well, these days it's all Walking Street, and I'm not into that. But
Yeah.
he used to do videos walking around different parts of the slums in Angeles City and all that.
That's true. That's true. I remember that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
More entertaining for me, anyhow.
Jerry posts a whole lot. And I watch some of Jerry's every week. I don't always get all of them.
I love when Jerry's in Mexico shopping.
I love his Mexico ones. I love his walking around the towns. I love his undercarriage of the trains. Jerry knows that. I've told him that many times. I love the undercarriage. And if the trains are short, I usually watch them.
Yeah.
He goes to I used to watch. He hadn't done this in a long time. He used to go to the cemeteries and walk around. I watched those.
I want to do the creek across the street from my house and call it the Ben's Creek Chronicles.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have a native trout stream 200 feet across the street that if you walk up on it and don't turn your back, it looks like Field and Stream magazine.
Yeah.
And the trout fishing used to be that good, but since the drought has rolled through, it really killed off a lot of the fish. They
Right.
just like went out of here for one way or the
Well,
other.
It's going to take time to build it back up.
They're native trout. I don't know that you can because the stream's not that big or that long. You can put stock fish in, but you won't get the natives back.
Well, I think they'll come back. It just takes time.
Where are you going to find them, though? They're not here so much.
They're
You have to-
downstream. They go downstream to the lakes or whatever to grow up. Then they come back upstream to spawn.
Yeah, I
They're
guess.
They're like a salmon. Well, in fact, a trout and a salmon are like one gene difference.
Yeah.
They're
The-
almost the same fish.
The Pennsylvania native trout is like, it looks like a brown trout, except it's a green trout with orange spots. They're the
Oh.
natives. They're extremely
Okay.
rare and very pretty.
I'm not sure
But,
which those are.
And I used
The
to
sam-
catch them like as long as your arm, from your fingers to your elbow. They were huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, with salmon, you got two types of salmon too.
There's
Well,
more than
yeah.
two.
You got the ocean salmon and the lake salmon.
Well, you got the coho,
The-
you got the king salmon, you got the
No,
pink
no, I'm
salmon,
talking-
the
I'm
red
talking-
salmon.
I'm talking about you got those that go in the ocean
and those
that
go to
in
lakes.
the lake.
Oh yeah, the steelhead. The steelhead trout's a lake salmon.
Actually, it's
The
not.
salmon.
A steelhead trout is an ocean fish.
Then what do we have in Lake Erie, Leonard?
I don't know.
There's
They may come
steelhead.
up. They may come up from the Hudson River and come across because all those lakes are connected,
Yeah, but I was
and
discussing,
they may do that.
without
The
the
salmon-
ice, without the
even-
ice on Lake Erie, we don't get the white perch fry for the steelhead fingerlings to feed on.
But what I'm saying
We
is,
have no
though,
white fish.
the ocean salmon, whether the regular salmon, I don't know about the king because they may get too big, but the silver salmon will go upstream the streams from the ocean to spawn. They
Yeah.
go back upstream, but they go down and live in the ocean after they're born. Now,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and the
Well, we
Native
used to have a
American,
herring that
But-
did that on the Delaware River
But
too.
they have kokanee salmon, which are lake bound.
Coho.
Kokanee.
There's coho too.
Well,
That's
I don't
what we
know
were-
about coho, but
Brandon, that's what we're talking about. The salmon are saltwater fish, but there are some that only live in freshwater. You out here on the Great Lakes, you have salmon, and that's where they swim to, and that's where they swim, and they go
Well, when
back
they
up.
catch a steelhead trout and cut him open, he's orange like an orange salmon.
yeah, I don't know.
He's great eating too, let me tell you. And
I
they're
don't
big
know
like
about-
king salmon.
I don't know about the steelhead in the Great Lakes.
You can
But-
catch
The
50
steelhead that is officially known are an ocean fish.
at the tributaries to Lake Erie during spring trout season here, steelhead, because they're spawning into the rivers. But the steelhead that you catch in the lake, you can catch 50 or 60-pound steelheads. And they got that funny looking steelhead face on it that looks like a trout. And we used to buy them and sell them in the restaurant as salmon, even though they were steelhead. They're phenomenal eating. They just got such a great taste.
I don't like salmon. I
I-
like tuna. I
You
like
should
Salmon's
try
tuna,
the
but
okay.
steelhead, Barrett.
Salmon's okay, but
I'm
I'll take a
not
trout
fan.
any day.
I'm not a fan of regular fish. The only fish I've tried that I like is tuna.
Yeah.
I've had catfish. I had some others. I just don't care for it. It's not that I can't eat it.
What's that?
It's not that I can't
Tilapia.
eat it. Like I
Yeah,
said, I've
but
not had it.
it's a trash fish.
What, tilapia?
Yeah, they put them in the farms where they raise them. They put them in the feeding area or the breeding area and stuff where they raise bass, and they eat the poop off the bottom of the ground of the deal.
I don't know. The
Tilapia is a It's
lot
a
of-
poop-eating fish.
The tilapia I know are African cichlids,
Yes.
commonly sold in the pet industry. And we used to get like big blue ones and all kinds of fancy African lake fish.
Yeah.
The Boise's, Tropheus morii. I used to know all like the Latin names for them because I used to buy and sell them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But
They're like-
I would rather have a good bass or a good rainbow trout. My
I
favorite
want
is cutthroat.
I want an Atlantic summer fluke about 8 pounds.
like I said, give me tuna. I'll eat tuna.
It's like you
I'll
would know
take
it's
halibut.
flounder.
I'll take a halibut instead.
Oh, Atlantic flounder is really good.
I've never
Halibut's
tried
good
it.
too. It's similar to
Yeah.
halibut. It's not quite as firm.
Well, like I said,
And it's a little more fishy tasting. You catch them all summer long. I used to catch them in front of the famous Barnegat Lighthouse.
that's one of the reasons why I like the tuna. It doesn't have that fishy taste.
Right.
Well,
Neither does halibut.
yeah, but Larry, you're
Well, I've
talking.
not had that, so I
Yeah,
mean,
but when
I
you
can't
mentioned-
say.
Larry, when you mentioned tuna, there's 10 different types of tuna.
Right.
There's bluefin, yellowfin, big eye, albacore,
Yeah, but
skipjack. You would never eat. Let me tell you, if I gave you a skipjack, you'd bark. So there's a lot of different kinds of tuna. To say you like tuna is like that's like trying to say you like cars, but you don't know what kind of car you like.
I like
Yeah.
steak, and I don't know. Who cares what kind?
Well,
I like
you-
steak.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
some steaks are better than others, but I like
Yeah.
steak.
Yep.
yeah, but what kind of steak?
What difference does it make? I like steak.
Yeah,
do you
but
like?
you want
No,
a round
some-
steak or do you want a
Do you
I'll
want a
eat
Venison
around.
steak
a
or a
ribeye or
cheap
you want a
steak or what
sirloin
steak
or-
you want? That don't make any sense. To say you like tuna, you're not being specific. You don't know what you like.
Well, no, he is because he's talking about getting it out of a can, most likely.
No, fresh tuna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then that really takes you.
I'm not.
Is it
having out of the
yellowfin?
can.
Is it bluefin? Is it albacore?
If I had to bet, guess, I'd say yellowfin.
And you're probably right. The yellowfin's very good. Bluefin's usually used for sushi. Albacore is a very much smaller steak, but can be very good. It's a little drier. It's very white. You know, I know a lot about tuna from catching them.
Yeah.
Well,
And big eye tuna is kind of like yellowfin for eating, but more similar in size to bluefin. And it's got this giant, like tennis ball size eye on the side of them, but it's real flat. You should catch a tuna sometime. Oh my God. A 30 or 40 pound tuna is swimming probably 70 mile an hour taking line. And you're trying to stop them and reel them in, turn them around.
Yep.
I caught a couple silver salmons ocean fishing. I wanted to catch a king so bad,
Oh, I know.
but I'm not much of a fisherman. I don't fish much because I don't eat fish.
I used to
Yeah.
catch bluefish.
But
Like
I went salmon fishing. It was I was in the Navy and could take a day off to go fishing, salmon fishing. So I took a day off, and I figured I'll spend a day on the ocean fishing if I can get a day off.
we used to go out all night and catch bluefish.
Hey,
And, like,
crazy kid, how you doing?
10 of us would go catch like 300
Hey,
bluefish.
crazy kid, how are you?
Crazy kid says he knows a lot about tuna from eating it.
Well, when you see tuna in the Philippines, that's another thing. The tuna that you'll see in the Philippines, they won't be but maybe a foot or two long. 'Cause
well,
they're baby.
they'll be up to 60 kilos.
Well, up to, but a lot of the ones that you see are like
Well, those you see
24
in
inches
the,
long.
those
They're
you see in the wet market and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but you got to
Yeah, the
remember,
ones they
guys.
ship off are, of course, the bigger ones. They all go-
Yeah, they
All
they
the big
sell off
ones
the
go to
bigger
Japan.
ones to the packing plants.
If I ever go to the Philippines and live there, I will have to adjust my eating because the steaks are going to be a thing of very expensive.
No,
Even
because
if
you
they're-
like steak,
They're,
you said
they're
you'll eat
actually
a pork
not that
steak.
expensive. They're expensive, but they're
No,
not. as
that's
expensive
pork.
as you
I
think.
said steak.
Oh,
When I
yeah.
say steak, I'm talking about a beef of some
But you
type.
didn't say that, and they make all kinds of steaks.
Well, I knew what he meant.
He
Well,
did too. He
that's
did
what
too.
they-
He's just being
What?
contrary.
No, I'm not. When you say steak to most Americans, they think beef.
Yes,
right.
Everything there's
and we're all Americans here, so
well,
That's
yeah,
what
but
said.
I don't
You
necessarily think that though, because
You
I get other
wanted
kinds
to know what you was wanting to know is, did I mean T-bone, sirloin, or ribeye? I meant steak, beef. Period.
yeah.
Any cut of it. But now,
Well, it definitely
said,
makes a difference on the cut as to the quality
like I
of meat,
like I
tenderness,
said, I
flavor.
may like one. I may like one better than the other.
it depends on where it comes from.
That too.
And that
Location
depends
on
on
the animal.
how was it raised? Grass fed, grain fed?
Well, in the first place, all beef is grass fed until the last 2 or 3 months of its life. Then it's put on grain and stuff, but it's eating hay along with that. So it's
Yeah.
not really all grain.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
kind of a misconception that
In Pennsylvania, we feed them a lot of what they call silage.
yeah, I know what that
And
is.
Crazy Kid wants to remind us all he's Canadian, so maybe but I think he came in after the steaks.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, what I'm saying is, you'll have to adjust unless you want to go and spend a lot of money on food, you're gonna have to adjust what you eat.
Well, yeah, you'll pay more money for food if
well,
you eat a more of a Western diet.
That's what I'm saying. So you
But
either
if you
got to
eat a-
adjust.
If you eat a Philippine diet, it'd be very
Well-
hard for us to do.
Yeah,
Yes and no.
I could do it. Oh yeah.
Well,
'Cause
they eat a lot of
make-
fish.
They eat a lot of
They eat
meat
a lot of fish and a lot of chicken.
and a lot of rice.
I
They-
love chicken,
Things
and
rice.
remember now they also eat pork.
Yes.
Yeah,
pork
but
and
the
Yeah,
pork
they
that
do.
they eat is much different than the pork you'll find in America.
I've had what do they call it now?
Lechon?
Lechon. I've had lechon. It's very good.
Where did you have it?
Filipino restaurant where they cut it right off and they had the fat and everything with it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
but
great.
That's
Then,
that's
the
American
burnt
pork and not Filipino pork.
No, he's talking about in the Philippines. When
Uh,
he was
I-
in
I-
the Navy.
You were in the
also
Very
had-
Navy.
I
I
was in the
forgot.
Philippines. I was in the Navy.
Yeah, I'm
I've
sorry,
also-
I forgot, Larry.
I've also ate straight food in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Because American
Because I want-
pork don't have a lot of flavor left in it. They bred it out of it.
But what
Yeah,
I'm
for the
saying
size.
But what I'm saying is, though, I can adjust that because they have a lot of vegetables, and I like vegetables. They eat eggs. I love eggs. I have eggs every morning for breakfast.
Yeah.
If I eat breakfast, I have eggs. Now,
Eggs
maybe
are-
scrambled,
yeah.
maybe not.
Eggs are like an almost requirement for a diabetic.
Yeah.
You got to have
I-
eggs.
I eat eggs almost every day except for when I don't eat breakfast. Now, occasionally I'll sleep in too much and I'll get up and I'll have a brunch. And
Yeah.
even then, sometimes I'll have eggs instead of something else.
Well, I'm eating one meal a day, and I have eggs with my dinner.
But now, like I said, I switched over to rice. I mean, nuts for my snack. I love rice. So if I can get to where I can eat rice again, I'll eat rice. Their pasta, I probably would never be able to eat their pasta. It's too sweet. They
You
like
got to
that
try
sweet-
nuts.com, Larry. They got all the nuts.
Well,
I'll try to
I'm
remember
not
to
yet.
look that up.
Yeah. But
It's a guy out of Camden. When I
I've
was a
heard-
little kid, we used to sell peanut brittle for Little League in a can. This
Oh, yeah.
guy's grandfather opened up that company, and over time, his grandson took it over, and they buy all
hello,
the nuts
Mitch.
off the banana boats from South America.
Okay. Hello, Mitch Lee. How you doing? Welcome to the channel. And JB Vlog, I noticed you. I'm sorry I didn't notice you earlier. Welcome. If you want your channel dropped, type in LLL, and it will drop the link to your channel. I have a Nightbot, so just type in LLL, and your channel will be dropped. Crazy, show them what I'm talking about, would you? And now, like I said, a lot of the food they eat, I really like. I've had some of it, but I love lumpia. Love this.
Oh, lumpia looks and sounds great.
It depends. You can make it a different way. You can make it
Right.
all vegetable. You can make a fish type, and so I mean, I had a girlfriend that used to make it, and she did a great job with it. I've had squid a couple times. One way I liked it, one way I didn't. It was the way it was cooked.
Yeah.
One way tasted way too salty for me. The other didn't. And don't mean squid. I mean octopus. I had octopus.
Oh, that's squid.
But anyway, so it's all going to how things are fixed on some of it. Some of it is just, I'm sorry, I don't care for the taste of fish. That's got the really fishy taste.
Yeah. Well, you would probably like cod or halibut.
Yeah,
because they aren't fishy tasting.
Yeah, that's why I said that kind of stuff I would like. I love chicken.
Catfish can be good too if it depends on the catfish, though.
Well, the biggest thing with catfish is they got to make sure they get all of that fat off it, and that's that clear stuff with the black speckles in it. Got to get all that off it, and then you don't have the fishy taste.
Yeah, well, my parents used to have catfish on their farm, and
yeah,
farm raised catfish can be good. A lot of fish, the flavor of the fish changes. If you catch the fish and the last 2 weeks of its life, you put it in real clean water, it affects the changes the taste of the fish.
Of course.
Yeah,
it's like if you catch a fish that's been like a trout that's been farm raised, and you catch it within the first 2 or 3 weeks of it being released, it'll be real soft and kind of white fleshed. You let that thing be 6 weeks or 2 months and catch it, and it'll just be just like a native fish. It'll be nice and firm and pink. And
when we catch them here in Pennsylvania, if it's rained a lot the week before trout season opens, and you go taste them, they taste muddy.
That can happen because their water's full of mud and stuff.
Well, we got a trick for that. You take them home and keep them in a bathtub for a week or two. Keep them alive.
Yeah,
and you either let them go or you eat them, and they're that way they're better.
I would let them go.
That's what we let a lot go across the street from my home. No. I go down the street a mile and catch them and bring them home in a cooler, and then we dump them in the creek across the street. But certain trout won't survive in the stream.
Yeah. Well, like I said, with me, if I go fishing, I'm going fishing with somebody that likes to fish. And if they want to fish, they can have it. Or otherwise, just let it go because I'm not going to eat it.
Oh yeah, we let a lot of them go. I don't keep much.
Like I said, now, if or when, hopefully when I move to the Philippines, I will have to try different fish to see if there's any that I like.
Yep.
I'll tell you one to try, Larry, is grouper.
I don't know if they have grouper in the
Philippines. Any ring has grouper, and grouper is incredible.
Yeah. But like I said, I already know I like tuna, so if I can get anything that tastes something like tuna, I'll be all right.
If you can get redfish, if I was in Texas, I'd be eating redfish out of the Gulf. They're really good.
Yeah. That's what they tell me. I've never had one.
You can find them in the supermarket. You buy them whole and you cook them on the grill.
Yeah.
And they're and you eat the cheeks off them even. They're so good. Oh God, are they good? And
cook them with the eyes.
Just grill them.
Cook them with the eyes in.
Yeah, I don't eat the eyes. No thanks. I cook the whole thing. I scale it and cook it.
I made it
head on everything.
Head on everything.
I've done that.
Or another way, you fillet them down the side, like the fillets on, and cut them down in 3 different places.
I never did learn how to fillet.
Well, you just go down to the bone and like cut flaps on the side of them,
Yeah.
and you flour them and shake them off in the flour with a little egg, and you deep fry them, head and everything. And the mouth opens up, the fins come out, and they call it fried dragonfish because it looks like a dragon on the platter. Nice way to serve them. To serve them that way when I was a chef, and I'd serve them with like Oriental stir-fried mixed vegetables and everything. It was delicious. Oh God, big platter of rice. I miss those days. Yeah, I don't get to eat like I used to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, but Larry, when you said steak, man, you know what's really good too is the filet mignons on the pork, the tenderloin from underneath. It's as good as steak. You'd love it.
Well, like I said, it depends. Back home, they have what they cook tenderloin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's usually pork tenderloin.
yeah, pork tenderloin from underneath,
Yeah.
and then there's the loin above.
Well, all I'm saying is that they'll take it and pound it out to where it's about that big, or almost that big. A lot of them. Other places don't pound it out quite that much. They bread it and they'll deep fry it, or you can have them grill it. Either way. But if it's
Serve it
grilled,
like
schnitzel. They won't have the breading on it.
Serve it like what?
Schnitzel.
Oh,
You ever have
But,
schnitzel?
yeah.
With
My
the
granddad was Swiss.
with the Spätzle noodles, the Spazzellis, and the
But
gravy.
anyway, yeah. Every time I go home, though, I gotta get myself a tenderloin because there's no place out here that makes tenderloins like back home. And so that's what that's something they serve almost everywhere in Indiana. is tenderloin.
Oh yeah, it's a local dish for them.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And they have competition, and they'll advertise, "Oh, we were voted the best by Terre Haute or this district or that Vigo County or wherever they're at. We were voted the best tenderloin," and they brag about it because, like I said, that's something that everybody back home love. And so whenever I go home, I have it at least once.
You know what's hard to find anymore in the supermarkets where I live? Veal. Veal is like kind of like disappeared.
It's hard to find anywhere, I think.
It's $20.
It costs you an arm and a leg for it.
It's worth it.
Crazy Kid, I don't know if I've had donkey or not. I'm going to be honest with you.
No, thank you.
Well, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I haven't.
That's like horse meat. Oh.
It's like, some places sell horse meat.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I haven't had it, but I can't. I'm sorry.
Carabao should be really good, and mozzarella di Carabao would be very good.
I've had buffalo
cheese made from Carabao milk.
Buffalo, yeah.
I've had
buffalo. Yeah, mozzarella di buffalo, which would be similar to Carabao mozzarella. Somebody's telling me about that in the Philippines the other week.
Yeah.
They
most
made
of the time they don't eat the Carabao though because they use them for work.
It's also the national.
Well, they milk them now when they have milk.
Well, that might be true, but there's other cows there too, so I doubt
they
that.
They do have other cows, but not anywhere near like the Carabao.
Well, they're a different cow too. The cows they have are like silver cows, silver bells. They're silver gray.
Well, I know in Dumaguete area.
Monina had.
No, what I'm saying is there's a vlogger. It's a Phil Am family. Turquoise sunset, I think it is, or sunrise.
That sounds right. I've heard of that one.
But anyway, it's this American guy with his Filipino wife and their 2 children. And I started following when they just had their girl. And they were in Valencia. They were staying in Valencia at Marpal's apartments. I believe it was Marpal's.
That sounds right.
And
they had this gorgeous 1-bedroom upstairs. I loved it. But they couldn't stay there because they had the daughter, but they were staying there until the downstairs opened up and it was a 2-bedroom. Upstairs, their apartment, the glass sliding doors in the front of the apartment opened up almost all the way across the living room. And they had this huge patio that you could go out on, and they had a couch out there, and you could big enough to have a dining table out there. I was thinking, if you put a screen in, man, you can leave that open a lot because it's a lot cooler up in Valencia than it is.
Yeah.
farther
Yeah,
down.
a lot of them don't need their AC hardly at all.
But getting back to what brought this up for me was we were talking about milk and cows. They used to have this, and I asked them because they're back in Dumaguete, or getting ready to go back to Dumaguete. If they were, and I think they're going back to Marpals the way they were talking. So I asked them to find out if they were still delivering the milk because they had been there for a while and they started delivering milk to the apartment building, and they would buy fresh milk. And they someplace in Dumaguete had a co-op for the farmers that had cows, and would milk the cows, and they'd sell the milk, and they had ice cream and stuff that was made out of it. And this one guy, we'd come by, I think like once a week, and they would buy their milk and some ice cream for their daughter. Now, if he's delivered, it'll be for their daughter and their son. Their daughter's probably, oh God, she's got to be close to 10 or 11. And the son's about 3. Both of them were born in the States. They went over while the daughter was young to the Philippines for a while. And then just before COVID, she was pregnant again. And they decided they wanted to go back to the States because he wanted to be there for the birth of his child. He was there for his daughter. He wanted to be there for his son.
Right.
And the hospital there wouldn't let him go into the room if he couldn't be in the room when she delivered. So they went back to the States, back to where her daughter was. They had a midwife, and the same midwife delivered their son so he could be there. Well, then COVID happened, and they were stuck in the States. And plus, when he was too young, right after he was born, to travel anyway, then it was like I said, then COVID happened right after that. So they just went back. I want to say in November, they're back in this.
Well, you talk about milk ladders. Even when it comes to cow's milk, the milk is so much different depending on the breed of cow.
The breed of cow and what the cow eats.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if they're eating onion grass, it tastes like chives.
Yeah.
If they're eating red beet tops, the milk gets pink.
Well, like I said, I couldn't tell you, but I know they like the milk.
Well,
So
the milk that you get here mostly in the States is Holstein.
Actually, it's not.
What?
Most of the milk, it's not whole. Most of it's not Holstein.
What is it?
It's probably 50-60% Holstein, but a lot of it's Guernsey and Jersey.
Well,
that's because their butterfat count is higher.
Well, I was going to say Guernsey.
They skim it. They skim it down.
The guy down the street from me has Guernseys. They're brown and white. And Guernsey milk is more digestible. It's higher fat content and makes much better cheese.
Well, I don't know about that, but
because it's more digestible. And
I don't think that's true at all.
What?
If I was still living up in Leroy, there's a bunch of dairy farmers up in that area. I could go.
When
check
I say
with
more
them.
digestible, I mean more easy to digest.
That's why I say I don't believe that's true, because
It-
the Jersey and the Guernsey cows have got type B protein. That's harder to digest and has more lactate in it, and people are more who are lactose intolerant can't drink it. The Holstein milk is type A protein.
The guy that
therefore it's more easy to digest. What's
Uh,
up?
The guy who had the Guernseys was telling me that, so I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
But, of course,
All
but
the
they do
small
make
people-
excellent cheese.
Now, Crystal, I happen to disagree with you. I know you prefer milk, but I prefer coffee.
You ever make your own mozzarella, Leonard?
No,
It's very easy to do.
but we had now I come from a town of 5,000 people. Okay, we lived out of town 13 miles, but there was a cheese factory there, and half of my relatives worked there.
Oh, so you know a lot about it.
Well, not as much as I should, but so no, I never made mozzarella. But
Mozzarella is so easy to make. You heat the milk, and after you heat it up so much, you add some salt and some enzyme, and then you add some lemon. And it like curdles up, and you get the cheese curds, and
yeah,
you skim them. You let it sit for so long, it like curdles up. You skim them out and press them. Press the water out of them.
yeah,
And voila, fresh mozz.
okay,
And then you stretch it and pull it and pull it and stretch it, and it gets stringy. I used to get, you ever have Armenian string cheese?
oh yeah,
That's really good with the seeds.
never tried that.
Oh no, it's you'll see it in the supermarket. They call it lover's knot. Reminds you of mozzarella, really.
Okay, I'll look for it next time I get to the store.
Now,
Yeah, it's
I'm going to relate to something that Crystal said she preferred milk to coffee. Now, when I was a
Well,
kid,
I am sorry, Crystal.
when I was a kid, about 4 or 5 years old, my dad would drink coffee, and I would want a cup of coffee with him. And now they give me a cup of milk and put just very little coffee,
Yeah,
so I could be drinking coffee with my dad. But I mean, it was like 99% milk,
yeah,
just a drop or two of coffee. But it was
Yeah.
enough as a little kid to make me feel good
yeah,
to have coffee. I would drink them. That's when my dad was home.
yeah.
Now,
Well,
dad- well, back when I was 4 years old, my dad was home all the time. 'Cause
yeah,
that was during the time frame that my mom had a couple of miscarriages.
oh yeah,
Well, one miscarriage, and then I had a brother that passed away about 2 weeks old.
oh yeah,
And so he was home a lot until I was around 5 years old when my younger brother was finally born. And so he went
Yeah.
back on the road, driving across country because he made more money. And
Yeah.
with 6 kids at that time.
well, yeah. You did what you had to do.
Yeah, and my mom didn't work, so you lived off of one income back in those days. You could do
Yeah.
it, but we could do it with him being home, but not near as well.
Right.
And then my youngest sister was born later, so there ended up being 7 of us.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Larry, I cured my son's asthma when he was 6 by no, I did. Doctor said he had asthma, and I says, "Oh yeah." I made him drink coffee every morning with me, and about 2 months later, he went in to be checked again. No asthma.
well, the coffee is it's a natural antihistamine.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff in coffee,
Yes.
and everybody wants to bash it.
I
I
drank coffee when I was in kindergarten and before as a little kid. I get up real early. My dad was going to work. My parents would give me a cup of coffee with them because I wanted coffee.
Yeah.
So I grew up drinking coffee. It was also effective for attention deficit hyperactive disorder
Exactly.
because instead of giving me Adderall,
Which
I
is
would just
speed.
I would just get my caffeine from coffee.
Yep.
Ann's trying to make us hungry, guys. Crystal's just said, "I just finished mine. I'm eating spaghetti for lunch. Let's eat, guys."
Enjoy, Ann.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a little late.
Yeah,
It's,
me too. Too close
Almost
to
10:30.
bedtime.
It's almost 10:30 at night. I'm
I cut
diabetic.
out all the pasta.
Oh no, I eat pasta once in a blue moon. You can't have it very often. I mean, I don't eat that.
I have pizza too much. I really do. I eat pizza. Oh, I have pizza almost once a week.
Oh yeah.
Pizza's not so bad though.
Oh no,
Well,
all that
it is.
bread.
'Cause it depends. It depends on the crust.
Yes, the
If
thickest.
you get thin crispy, it's not so bad. But if you get
I
if
don't
you
get
get-
pan pizza. I don't get pan. But
And it's
Okay.
not, it depends on what
I-
they make it with.
that's true too.
But the thing is, though, I eat too
Bread has
much
more
of it.
protein.
Like I
Bread
said, though,
flour has more protein.
but I eat too much of it. Doesn't matter.
But
if
the
it's too
problem
much.
is that protein can't be used by the human body.
Yeah.
So it might be there, but you can't emulsify it.
And then I always get the pepperoni pizza.
What do they
Yeah.
do when they take the? I've seen them taking bread
get-
flour, and they were washing the starch out of it, leaving just the protein behind, and making a meat substitute with it.
I don't know what that is. That might be that Impossible Burger crap.
Kind of, sort of. They were stripping the starch out of the high protein flour, though.
Yeah.
Crazy, are you telling me I got to quit drinking coffee so I can slow my body down to match my mind? Crazy says coffee calms me down. It speeds my body up to match the speed of my mind more closely. Well, my mind's a little slow, so I better slow. So that's my problem. I'm too slow.
Yep.
There's a lot of ways to go with all that stuff. I know that.
That's for sure. But
Yeah. But see, Crystal, the thing is, a midnight snack for myself and Leonard and Ed is not good for us. We're all diabetics, are pre-diabetic. Like I said, pre-diabetic for you.
Yeah,
I've got mine reversed at this point.
Well,
beautiful.
I've lowered mine some, but I got to reverse it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
I
too.
was over 11. I got it down to 8. And if I'm not careful, it's going to go back up. So that's why
Yeah.
I started eating the nuts, and I'm trying to get away from the cookies. I
Yeah.
was on Dan's live stream, and he was talking about, I said the donuts is not my problem. I love oatmeal cookies.
Oh yeah. And
that's,
another thing that's very detrimental is all these seed oils.
I use olive oil
Okay.
or granola. I don't use anything else.
Canola oil is one of the
Canola?
worst.
Is it? I
Yeah,
use olive oil.
way
usually.
It's got way too high of a ratio of omega-6 to omega-3. And it's
And they
got
link it to
omega-9s in
dementia.
there too. And
Well,
it's very inflammatory.
And let's
Well,
talk about olive oil for a minute.
Now, good extra virgin olive oil is
I
not
use
too
extra
bad.
virgin.
It's not too bad, but you got to be careful cooking with it because it's got kind of a low smoke point.
Yeah, when you overheat it, it loses everything. But here's another thing with olive oil. The best olive oil comes out of the desert and comes where it's hottest and driest. Madagascar olive oil is much more nutritionally better for you than Italian olive oil or Greek olive oil.
Yes, Crystal, we're all either diabetic or pre-diabetic. So yeah, we got
A lot of Italian olive oil isn't Italian olive oil; it's Spanish olive oil squeezed in Italy because Italian olive oil is worth more. So olive oil is kind of like a loaded thing. Where's it from?
Well, that and a lot of it's actually not even really olive oil, or only partially.
Well, they blend it so much. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be careful with what you buy.
Crazy kid. The only way they can be extra virgin, they got to be extra young.
Well,
the olives. Yeah.
Now I do have a question. Crazy kid said, "What about peanut oil?" That's what he likes to eat.
Peanut oil is bad too.
Yeah, it's a legume.
Yep. Any vegetable seed, grain oil, anything like that, it's way too high in omega-6 fatty acids. They've got some omega-3s, but the ratio is way out of whack.
Yeah, now the peanut oil is supposed to taste better, though, right?
They use it for frying.
Yeah, it has a very high smoke point.
Yep.
It has a very high smoke point, so they use it for frying.
Okay.
I've deep fried turkeys in it, but
like I said, I usually use
virgin oil.
Olive
olive
oil, yeah.
oils.
Well,
extra
Avocado
virgin
oil is very good also.
when you talk about even extra virgin olive oil, though, you want cold press first run extra virgin olive oil. It costs a little bit more too, and
Yeah.
it's darker green.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that. The darker, the better.
Well,
Yeah.
you want cold pressed.
Well,
What they
But
do is
still-
when they press the olives, the first run is cold pressed usually.
hey,
Then
Dan, welcome. Come
Then
on
they
up,
turn
Dan.
the heat on and
Hey,
refresh.
Dan, how are you, man?
We got Crystal here. Crazy kid.
To be honest with you, and the best oil to use is either avocado oil or pork tallow, or even what do they call it from a pig? Bacon grease, something like that. Animal fat
Bacon
is the
grease is
very
good.
best. Huh?
Bacon grease is good to cook with.
Yes.
My mom used to cook with that stuff. We used to have a little can
And
that,
save and filter it. Yep.
yeah, you had a little strainer on top,
Yep.
and you pour it in, and then you clean that strainer off, and you build
Yep.
it up. And when you needed to cook,
I use a coffee filter, but you know.
You want
Well,
something good
no,
to.
this was the can they used to sell made for
I
that.
used to have one of
Oh,
them.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Had
it
a little
had a
sieve on
strainer.
top.
They had
Yep.
a strainer on top that fit the can,
Right.
and so you'd pour it in
And a
while it
little
was
lid on
hot.
top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
I
lid on top of
always
that.
used a pickle jar. Wash it out
See,
real
there-
good.
Yeah.
And I stick it in the fridge.
Well, I don't know whether you guys see it out there, but I can buy it in the better markets around here. You can also buy nut oils that are good to either do salads or fast saute with. You can get hazelnut, you can get walnut.
Same issue with the seed oils. Too much
But they
omega 6s.
They tell you walnuts are healthy. Why are you eating the walnuts then?
Walnuts still have got. I guess eating the whole walnut, it's got enough other stuff in it that counteracts it. But the nut oils are going to give you the same issue with it being inflammatory as the seed oils are.
Now, Dan says pig fat is what he likes to use, even to fry the donuts.
Yep.
And Leonard Crystal says thank you for the avocado oil.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah. And,
Avocados are wonderful. That's
Yeah.
another thing too. Most people don't know about avocados. You know, you want an avocado, you generally want a Hass avocado because they're the ones that we like to eat. But most Hass avocados are grafted onto another type of avocado. Because if you grow a Hass avocado seed that's been grafted, you won't get a Hass avocado back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to sound crazy, but it's true.
But now, Dan, I started eating mixed nuts for snacks. I started last night. Took them to work for the first time today. I'll take them again to work tomorrow, and I got enough. I could probably have some on Monday. I'm trying to eat those instead of the oatmeal cookies because I watched a video by a doctor, and they were talking about the 7 best nuts for diabetics and the 3 worst. Peanuts was on both lists. I'm trying to remember. There was another one that I think all 3 were on both lists. It's kind of strange, but
Yeah.
he would give you the pros and cons. The ones I got outside of the pistachio were all really considered really good. None of them were on the bad list.
Yeah. And avocados are actually good for you.
Yeah, you
One of the-
have it.
One of the few fruits that are, because they don't have glucose. They don't turn to glucose.
Well, avocado is actually a nut.
Could-
now-
I don't know. It might be. I don't know.
It is. Matter of fact, you can eat the avocado pit.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I haven't either. Now hold on, crazy kid. You might eat Nick nuts as a kid, but I think it was something else made you.
You cannot
the way
eat
you are.
apple seeds, though.
Yeah, you can. They won't do you any good, but you can eat
Don't
them.
chew them up and eat them. If you eat a handful, they're cyanide. They'll kill you.
No. I didn't say eat a handful. If
Apple
you're eating an apple and you get a bite that goes down, it won't hurt you.
No, but if you chew up a bunch of apple seeds, you're going to die.
Well, I wouldn't eat a bunch of apple seeds. I don't eat bird seed either.
And you
So
shouldn't eat
you can
potatoes
eat that.
that are green from the sun because they can be high in cyanide as well.
Yeah.
You can't eat undercooked beans.
That's very true. If you're gonna eat beans, you got to cook those suckers till almost refried.
Yep.
The beans I was told are not good for me, so I don't eat them.
Well, they're not because they've got a lot of starch in them, and
Dan, no, it wasn't Dan, was Bobby. Dan, I don't know if you know who Bobby is from Time to Get Going. Well, he's over in Pattaya right now himself, him and his wife, and they did put out a video that I watched today, and it made me want Mexican food.
oh yeah,
they went to a Mexican restaurant there in Pattaya.
oh yeah, I've heard about that place. I think Paul Old Dog did a video there.
Might have, but they Jai, his wife, and another guy that was a vlogger that's in the Thailand had the taco salad bowl, which didn't do that much for me. I mean, I can eat it, but it's not what he had. The burrito, that's what did it. I mean, not just the burrito. I had the plate, the beans,
Yeah.
the rice, and it's like, oh man, that looks good. I haven't had any Mexican food in a while.
Yeah,
Probably been a couple months. Like I said, stuff like that. You just, as much as I like it, you can't have it very often. And
right.
yeah, Mexican food in Thailand, Dan.
Well, you're still in Thailand now, aren't you, Dan?
Yeah, he's still there. They'll be it's another week before you leave, Dan. Mac, Daddy, why did you drop out?
I'm back.
I know you dropped out.
I moved my phone. I'm sitting here tending my wounds. And I moved my phone and got lost, you guys.
Uh huh.
Well, Dan, the place that they went to, like I said, is in Pattaya. I want to say it was that taco place, or I can't remember the name exactly. But I guess it's pretty well known in that area. And they were saying the food was really good. And there he's gone again, playing with his phone.
Yeah.
Oh,
well.
And like I said, I mean, it all looked good. Even the taco salad bowl, the bowl is a breaded type bowl that you can eat. And I make my own taco salad. I haven't done it in a while, but I've made my own taco salad, but it just didn't get put in a.
Yeah, I used to do it all the time. What I would do is I'd buy that kit that's got 4, and it's got the little forms.
No,
I'd save the forms. No, I'd save the forms, and I could make it anytime I want to. Then.
Well, I always made it from scratch. You just get your ground beef or pork, whatever you want to use for your meat in your taco salad, and then
Lingua.
I would cook up, and because being diabetic, I would use not cauliflower, broccoli, and stuff like that, and a broccoli salad is what I'd get instead of a regular salad because it's a little healthier.
Well, you want to
actually, it's really not.
Well, according to my doctors, it is.
Yeah,
the broccoli is better than regular lettuce.
Do you know what's better than broccoli? Microgreens, broccoli sprouts. A broccoli sprout has as much nutrition as a whole head of broccoli.
Well, I'm not talking about eating. It's a broccoli salad. It's like a shredded salad with lettuce, but it was with broccoli.
Well, that's what microgreens would be like. They'd be like the lettuce. They're high nutrition.
But that's what they were telling me would be better for me.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise, I just use regular lettuce or coleslaw.
Now, coleslaw is not so good because it's got all the extra crap in it to
Yeah.
flavor it.
Well, I'm not. I'm talking about the dry, nothing in it.
Oh,
just
you're
the
talking
dry
about
mix.
just shredded cabbage.
Yeah. Well, it's a coleslaw mix.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
shredded cabbage, and you can put like a good vinegar with it.
No, I'm saying it's shredded cabbage, but it'll have carrots and some other stuff mixed in with it. But
Yeah.
there's no salad dressing. It's just a dry that you add the vinegar and
You
mayonnaise
can
and stuff.
toss it with some nice. There's different flavors of vinegar, and put a nice like extra virgin olive oil with it. You could make a really nice crunchy salad with some fresh cabbage.
Yeah.
You know what I grew up eating? This will blow your mind. I'm Pennsylvania Dutch, genuine Amish as a kid. My grandmother was. We grew up eating dandelion.
Yep.
Dandelion is a really good rough green.
Now, by the way, I asked Dan. He said he's got 2 more days in BKK,
Okay.
and then so
BKK?
he'll be
Bangkok.
Oh,
then he's heading back to Manila, I believe. And then they're not going straight home. They're the way they were talking. Him and Minnie's wanting to maybe go to Angeles and visit Tim. He's got a. They're still trying to work that out where they're going to go and for how long. So.
Nice extended vacation.
Oh yeah, well hey, he's retired. He's not on vacation. He's retired.
That's
Now,
true.
I'm going to be honest with you. When I do finally retire, I won't be able to travel as much as him and Minnie. As long,
I won't either.
I'll be able to travel some. I got to figure out, like I said, if I'm healthy and everything works out well, I want to move to. Right now, my goal is to move to the Philippines, but that's in flux because, like I said, I'm not going anywhere as long as my mother's alive. I'm not going anywhere till a couple of years after I have my bills paid off because I also want to save money. Because when I go, I don't want a furnished place. I want unfurnished.
Yeah, that's what I want, but I'm probably going to end up having to get a furnished place to start with.
Well, I probably will too, but I'm saying that but once I figure out where I want to live,
Right.
I want to get an unfurnished place and buy the furniture I want.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. Your rent will be cheap. You can have a nicer apartment unfurnished than you for the same money that you'd get a furnished one. So
That's
it's
true.
got to be a place you know you're going to stay. I mean, if you're just looking, get furnished. You know.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I'll probably do either long-term B&B or maybe there are long-term. It's actually short-term places for people that are transit too.
Yeah.
You can get decent monthly rents from some places, and that's all you got to sign up for a month or two.
Yeah.
It depends on where you're at.
The Philippines, though, it's like
The what?
you're moving to the Philippines.
Right.
I don't know.
But there's
wouldn't
7,000 islands, so you gotta.
And there's over 700. Over 700 are populated.
Yeah. And you gotta,
So, So you got to
you
decide.
can take your time to decide where you want to plant your feet.
you
I
gotta
don't know
decide-
that I can move out of here and go to the Philippines
Oh, I couldn't in a heartbeat.
because I could physically, but I have my son.
I couldn't. I
got-
well, see, yeah.
I got a lot of things that you're going to leave me attached
Yeah,
to.
Larry's
America.
got a unique situation.
I have
You
no
do to a
kids.
degree because of your son.
Yeah,
Well,
but you
not
gotta-
only that, I have no retirement, no way to retire.
Well, no, you couldn't do it now, but you could set yourself up to do it. And by the time you're set up to do it, your son could either go with you because he'll be past 21.
Yeah, but I'm 58 years old and I have no retirement. I have nothing saved.
That's what I said. You can do it, but you're not going to be able to do it until you're probably 70 or older. But you got to get cracking on it. That's up to
Yeah.
you. I mean,
I know, Larry, but
it's all up to you.
I'm going
I mean,
to have to have something that I can reach out and touch here in the States.
Well, see,
And
with
I
me,
can't leave it. And here's my dilemma. I can buy real estate really cheap where I live. Like this week, I can buy a house for $12,000. It's a 2-bedroom, half of a twin. It needs a little TLC, but I could have the place. Right, I could move in tomorrow and have the place finished in 2 months,
well, all right. Let me.
and then I can sell that or rent it and do it again and again.
That's what
You
I
do
was going to
that. You
suggest.
do that 2 or 3 times, and you'll have your money to
Or
go
more.
if you decide to
Collect
go.
my rent. Yeah.
Just keep doing it until you're ready to retire.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I have to do.
Yeah, that's what I said. You can do
I
it.
need
You
to
just
sell
gotta-
my property that I bought last year for about 10 to 15,000 this year.
Well, then do it. And then
If
buy
you
the
can,
house
if you
and-
can do it, then do it.
Easier
Well,
said than done. I got to have a buyer first.
Well, of
well,
course.
then, yeah.
If
I'm
have
just
you
saying, though.
listed it?
Not yet.
Well, you're not going to find a buyer till you
Well,
list
I'm not going. True, but I'm not going to sell it up north to your counting snowflakes.
it. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
gets sold.
Dan,
Yeah,
I'm
you're going to
gonna-
need to wait till March or so.
Dan, I'm
Yeah.
going to have to agree with you in principle, but I'm willing to bet there are a few that do, but those are the wealthy Filipinos. Dan says Filipinos don't really retire.
The problem is that we can't really work over there unless we get something online.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I can take enough with me. And if I have property that I got to look after, I can't be too far out of reach.
Well, there was a guy, and I'm trying to remember his name. A Gifted Curse, I think was his channel's name. I used to follow him a little bit. He was a younger guy. Had some emotional problems. Had a support dog that he took with him, and he'd go to the Philippines for like 6 months, go back to the States, and he had property that he would buy, fix it up, and then rent it, and go back to the Philippines. Now he had some family member that he trusted.
Well, sure. Here's another
oversee the property.
My Filipino girlfriend, future fiance, wants to live in America anyhow because she's going to need to earn a decent income for a few years. Can't do
Well,
that
like
in
I
the
said.
Philippines.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you got the time.
Oh yeah, I got some time, but she wants to come here too. So
Well, you bring her here, let her make money as well,
exactly.
and then
Yeah.
you do this, and between the two of you in a few years, you have to decide when you can do it. You can go back and live.
I might be able to go for a few months at a time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of chained. I'm not chained here, but I'm stuck here.
Well, like I
Well,
said,
yeah,
we
but you
just
got
try-
your son. Now, how old is
Yeah.
he? How old is he now?
He's
16, I
16.
think.
16. So he'll be out of high school in a couple of years.
Yes. Well, my
And then-
son's got a good chunk of change coming at him too when he turns 18.
Okay.
That has to help him with, or he won't have it too long.
Well,
So, he's got, and it's not a big chunk of change, but and that's part of the problem too. My son has about 17,000 coming at him from a incident that happened when he was younger.
Well, in your area though, that could set him up in a nice house.
Well, in my area, that could buy him a starter home to go with, and I
That's what I
plan on
said.
him living with me.
yeah.
I'm trying to do pizza in the right neighborhood out here. If I do that, then I could be off to the races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the master of pizza, and pizza can do very good out here in certain neighborhoods,
Yeah.
so to speak,
And-
certain areas.
And Crystal, I agree with you. It's very hard for somebody to, like you said, to do. I've seen the work that you do, and it is hard work. And I can believe it's tiring. I saw the video where you're doing some of the work you do. I don't know if that's the only job you do, but that did look like it would be tiring. And Dan's saying, Mac Daddy, yes,
What?
she can come to the States to earn money like Minnie. His wife came to the States and earned money.
Yeah,
Then
that's
build
true.
a house in the Philippines like Minnie. Minnie built her house in the Philippines. She's the one who paid. The dad paid for everything else. I'm sure she helped with some things when they needed it.
I got the perfect house I want to build in the Philippines. It's typhoon proof.
Yeah.
I want
Is
to
it
build
round?
a dome out of aircrete. Aircrete's perfect thing to build with in the Philippines because it's like
Is it strong
foam
enough
concrete.
is it strong enough to withstand the trees blowing up against it and stuff?
It is strong enough. It'll take a 2x4 doing 150 mile an hour.
Okay.
And the
I've
reason
heard
why,
of it, but it's been so long ago that I can't remember the details.
well, aircrete is basically shaving cream and concrete mixed,
Yeah,
and it
and
floats.
they blow it in over a balloon, right?
You could possibly, in the Philippines, I would buy some Lawan plywood and make a structure out of rebar, and just do just put coats of stucco on, like
Mm,
just keep floating it over the rebar till I filled it,
yeah,
and
that probably work too.
it would be about 12 inches thick. The beauty of it is it's super insulated. You can
Yeah,
light a fire on a blowtorch on one side, and you can't feel anything on the other. So
yeah.
it's good for air conditioning.
Yeah. Now, hold on. Crystal says, Dan says he knows it's a tough life, a challenging life in the Philippines. But Crystal Adventure says, but it's a happy life too, Sir Dan, here in the Philippines. And I'm going to tell you something. If you like what you're doing, you like the people you're with, and you feel you have everything you need, whether it's money or love or companionship or whatever it is, and you're happy with what you got a happy life.
Yes, that's true.
Now,
I got one you can grow in the Philippines if you're by the sea.
I don't want to be by the sea.
Okay. Well, you don't have to be there much, but you got to be there once in a while. You
No,
can
no.
put strings of oysters out there with cultured pearls in them, and 2 years later, you got strings of pearls.
No interest. That's too much work. When I retire, I want to live in a town like Valencia or something. I don't really care to be near the ocean. If I am, that's fine. It's just that's not a requirement for me. As a matter of fact, it might be a detriment depending on how close to the ocean. But I want a nice, quiet life. But I want the city as well. So Ilo is a good choice. The reason why I say Ilo, I watch this one vlogger, Tito Tim. He's in Ilo, and he talks about they got a good group of people, but they don't do much drinking. It's more of a quiet, small town. He said there's not a lot of bars because that's not the lifestyle people live there. And that's like I said, you got a bar that you can go to once in a while. That's all you need. I don't need the nightlife where the music's pounding. I don't need that. I'm not into it.
I need more of a restaurant than a bar.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they got restaurants there. Ilo's a good sized town. It really is. I just don't know if I would be happy with the medical service. That's why, like I said, that's why I would look more towards Dumaguete because it's Sullivan University and they got a doctor's hospital there.
Yep.
Cebu's got all those hospitals there. Cavite, the area of Cavite, which is, that's where General Tres is in Cavite.
Okay.
So is General's. There's quite a few towns in Cavite that are close to the Manila, which has good hospitals.
Yep.
So, if I decide I'm going to move over there because I'll be healthy enough and all that stuff when it comes time, those are the areas I got to check out. And because, like I said, I want to be able to have a decent hospital, a decent doctor, decent dental care and affordable living. Now, you have to look around to find all that. Right now, if I was moving over there right now and I had to pick one place, it might be where Steve's at. For those
Tracy
of you who don't know,
Marteris.
Tracy Marteris are close to there because the rent's fairly cheap. You can find decent places for cheap compared to here. You're only about a half hour from Manila. They have buses that'll take you in. They have ambulances in that area. But I don't know if that's where I would want to be.
Yeah. Well, that's the one reason why I was thinking about Davao, because they've got an actual 911 system.
Yeah,
No place else in the Philippines has.
I was getting ready to get to that.
Okay.
Davao 911.
Sorry.
But I don't know. Like I said, Davao's got 911, but I don't know what their hospitals are like, and I don't know what the rent's like.
Well, from what I've heard, their rent is comparable to or less than Cebu, and their hospitals, they've got some really good hospitals there.
Yeah, like I said, that's because Davao, if you're going to Mindanao, that's one of the few places I'd go to in Mindanao.
Yes.
CDO maybe, but Davao would be my choice in Mindanao.
Yeah. Yeah, CDO would be a nice place to visit. I don't know if I would want to live there or not. But
Dan, what I'm hearing also on Social Security about that is if those that are already on it will keep what they got, they may not get the raises for a while, but they won't have their cut. It's just the ones that haven't retired yet will have it cut. That's my understanding.
Them Republicans want to take it away from everybody.
No, both sides are talking about cutting the pay back on it.
well, they're talking about the trust fund being out of money by 2035, and then they'll cut us back by either.
They're talking about 30%. That's what they're talking about. But I'm going to tell you right now.
I heard it wasn't that much. It was like 25 or something.
Yeah. But like I said, right now, neither side wants to do away with Social Security.
Actually,
both sides
Scott does.
Who?
I can't remember his first name. He's a Republican from.
Well, I'm talking about the whole as a whole. Neither side wants to do it because they both know that will get them defeated.
Yeah, but he wants to do away with it completely.
Well, they've talked about doing that under Bush. All right.
Yeah, Bush wanted to
privatize it. And it would be gone right now. They did that.
No. What Bush wanted to do, I know. Remember, it was my age group that would have to make the choice. There was those that are a certain age and older were going to stay on Social Security, and they get it till they die.
Right.
There was another group, which I was in, would have to make the choice: Social Security or privatize. All right. Then there was the ones younger would have to go privatize. So it was going to be like three different things. But it's basically going to come down to either Social Security or privatize.
Well, I got a great idea for them all.
But like I said,
why don't they pay it back with interest, the money that they stole from it, and we'll have 200 years of Social Security left.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It actually is probably 300 years.
Right.
That started under Eisenhower.
If they would pay back the money they stole, we'd all be fine.
Yep. Now I'll give you that. I don't know this for a fact, but I've heard that Johnson took money out of there to cover the Vietnam War.
They took tons out to fund the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
And they also took money out to support. Now this could be the Republicans. I don't know, but all the aid they give to women that are not married with kids.
You're talking about
welfare for
that's not true.
Oh yeah, they did. They touched that for welfare.
Larry, they don't give all the money to just women and support.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
though, they
he's talking
started-
about welfare in general. But
Yeah.
and then
They took money
Reagan
out of
is the
that.
one who allowed them to start charging income tax on it.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
yeah, it was 1984. That was Reagan. And
Like I said, I think so. I agree with you.
The Republicans have messed with it a lot more than the Democrats, that's for sure.
I
Well-
don't know about that. I know both sides screwed with it.
the whole thing
So
is,
this-
if Eisenhower had not changed the law in the 50s, they wouldn't have been touching it because it would have been against the law still.
Well, you got to remember now. I don't know if it was probably Republicans. It might have been Democrats in charge of the other houses at the time.
Selective
The president-
amnesia.
I don't know. I'm
No,
sorry.
I think Eisenhower had a full.
He might have. Like I said, I don't know.
I think the
I don't know.
Republicans
That
had
was before my
all,
time.
both houses.
I was.
That
I
was before
was,
mine too. My granddad.
I
told
was.
me.
You know, I'm like this. You know.
Yeah.
And but the thing is,
Well, yeah, you're only a couple of years older than me, so. But
but the thing is, the
my
president
granddad
can't make
told
a
me
law.
about it.
Remember that the president cannot make a law. It takes Congress to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it might have been Republicans. I don't know, but you got to blame Congress, the representatives, and the Senate. You got to blame both of them because they're
Yeah,
the
as
ones that-
well as the president for signing it. But
Well,
he's the
it's the-
one. He's the one who presented the whole thing to Congress.
He might have. I don't know. Like I said, it was before my time. I can tell you from Kennedy on a little bit more,
Yeah.
but not before Kennedy. You know, I remember when Kennedy was shot and killed. I remember the funeral on TV. I mean, I remember that
Yeah.
stuff. I remember.
I
the Bay
remember
of
that
Pigs.
too.
I remember the Bay of Pigs. I
Yeah.
blame Kennedy for the Bay of Pigs.
It was definitely a
It was
mess up.
Kennedy. It was Kennedy. Kennedy had promised them support, and then he did not deliver the support, and they were killed on the beaches of Cuba. That's the Bay of Pigs. All right. Now I will give him credit about trying to get the missiles out of there.
Yeah, he
Right.
did that. He got him out of there.
Well, I don't know that. The only thing I know for sure they took the crates out.
Well,
I don't know if they went in and verified it or not. I don't remember that.
I
I
don't
do
know
know.
that either for
I
sure,
do
but-
give him credit for de-escalating that. That was
Yeah.
de-escalated. But like I said, the Bay of Pigs I put on him. I give him credit for the missiles. That's the best I
Oh.
can do for Kennedy.
This is something I hadn't heard about. Dan said that they may cut Social Security by 70% if you live outside the country over 6 months.
No. Oh, no, that's something I have not heard.
I had
Well,
not
see-
either.
Yeah. But
Well, I like the other one. Let's
Oh,
just
and then
let-
he said that they would only pay 70% of your eligible payments.
let's take down the Trump era tax cuts and tax the corporate wealthy at 15%, and we'll be fine.
Yes,
well, I'm going to tell you something that I don't know if you'll agree with me or not.
but we'll never get that through Congress. So
Let's do away with the IRS and come up with a flat sales tax. No,
VAT tax. It's value added tax.
the
that's
problem
right.
with that, Larry,
So you just
Larry,
want
the
to tax
problem
the
with
poor
that
people.
is they want 30%.
Yeah, and you want to
And
tax
that,
the
all
poor
that'll
people.
do is break the poor people more.
what,
The wealthy don't
Right.
don't pay sales tax very much because they don't buy stuff that takes sales tax.
let me continue. What I'm saying on the flat tax is you pick out, let's say 20,000 because it's easy. 20,000 and below your poverty. If you want to make it 30, make it 30,000 and below your poverty. Everybody below that. All right, let's not do a sales tax, a flat income tax.
Okay, that makes more sense to me.
But what we're going to do is we're going to say if you're under 20,000, you don't pay any taxes at all. Or if you're under 30, like I said, y'all can debate on what's poor. That's going to have to be decided by somebody else, not us.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing I'm going to say is to encourage people to make more money than that is everybody gets to deduct that 20 or 30,000. Everybody.
Right.
All right. So that way, if you're making 30,000, all of a sudden you make $30,001, you're not being taxed on that 30,000 still.
Right.
So
How you
you're
going
not
to
going
pay
to
for
turn.
medical?
Like I said, your taxes will pay for medical. You're still paying an income tax. The flat
Yeah. See,
rate
what
could
it'll
be
do
just
is it'll be similar to the
everybody.
way Canada does it.
It's going to be everybody paying the same amount per what you make.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing you do away with, there is no tax deductions. So you can't say, well, I did this with this money, so I don't have to pay taxes on that. No, you pay taxes on everything. And I'm talking about if you buy capital gains, like you go buy stock and stuff,
Right.
and you make a profit, you pay taxes on that profit.
Yep.
Because what a lot of rich people will do, instead of taking the income, they take stocks and bonds.
Yeah.
So they got this money, but they're not paying taxes on it. Well, now you are.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you say, hey, you're going to pay 30% or whatever, as long as it's the same amount for everybody. And you would not need near as many IRS people. You need some to make sure to follow up once in a while.
And let's have a transaction tax for all them stock trades that you make.
Yeah. Never get that through Congress either.
You'll never get that through Congress. But you could get the other, like, you probably got enough people that would be screaming that the rich need to pay taxes on their income, even if it is stocks and bonds.
Why? Then they're just going to trade it away.
No, because then they won't take it. They'll take cash. Because if they trade it, they made a profit, and they're going to pay. You pay on your profit. It's
Not
income.
necessarily. They can trade it at a loss.
They'll find a way. They will find a way to cheat the system like they have forever.
Well, I said you got to get them on the transaction.
Well, you can do that too. That's fine if you can get it through Congress.
Yeah. Even if you could get every other Democrat to vote for it, Manchin would vote against it. But he's a dino anyway. He's not a real Democrat.
Oh,
At least he's not a rhino.
And
Yeah.
You guys call them dinos. We call them rhinos. The Republican name only. We have some of those.
Yeah,
Of course,
a couple of them.
We got rid of one of them.
You talking about Cheney?
Oh hell yes.
She's the only Republican I would have voted for.
She's a rhino. That's why you'd vote for her. She was might as well be a Democrat.
at least he's legit.
Well, the thing is, Larry.
No, she's not legit. You didn't get. She lost big time in her own state.
Yeah, that's because Trump and the whole Republican Party went out there and told them they had to vote against her.
Yeah, but like I said, all the Republicans considered her a rhino, so that's why they were against her.
Well, really, the only ones that considered her a rhino were the MAGAs, and they're like the ones you want to call extreme left. They're the extreme right.
Well, yeah,
they're authoritarian.
We do have, believe me, we do have extreme right, and you have extreme left. And that's what we need to get rid of. But until people start talking in the middle and come together, it's not going to happen. That's what's wrong. Right now, the two extremes have us divided. Hey, Dan, I'm sorry you have to go. I'm glad you dropped in, and take care of yourself. Stay safe and healthy. And
We said
have fun.
running in Pennsylvania last election.
Yeah, Dan, take care. Nice talking to you again.
I'm going to tell you something, Dan. If they're real post-war silver dollars, they're good.
What's
but
that?
Now, if you're in, he says, gotta go, everyone. Bye for now. Stay safe and watch out for folks trying to sell you post-war silver dollars.
Oh yeah.
Like I said,
some of them are so good.
Yeah, but he's probably talking about
check them with a magnet.
Well, I'm saying though, he probably is talking about over in Thailand, which are fake. And I think they
They
do that.
bought a bunch here in the States, and you can pick them up with a magnet.
You got some in the Philippines were trying to sell some fake coins too.
Yeah.
Somebody did a video on that. I can't remember who it was. They were talking about they were going down the street and somebody tried to sell them some coins, and they were trying to sell fake coins. I can't remember which ones, but I don't know if it was silver dollars or something else. But we get Susan B. Anthony's where I'm at working.
Collect those things. They're worth extra money.
Nah, just
No, they are. Their value is way more than $1.
No,
I could check. No,
They sure the hell are.
you can still get rolls of them at the bank.
Yeah, but you can still get $10 a piece for them too. Some places.
I don't know.
those,
Yeah,
all
they
I
went
know,
up.
all I
And
know
the
is where I work,
Sacagawea dollars are even more.
we got those here all the time. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the vending machines where I work at gives you either the gold coins or the Susan B. Anthony for change. You put a 5 in, you're not getting ones back.
You can order those at the bank, uncirculated stuff.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, the where I work at, and it's not their machine. They have a outside vendor comes in and takes care of the vending machines. Unless you put a 20 in, and only one machine takes a 20, you get the $1 coins back, even if you put a 10 in, and all the other machines. Now the one machine
That's
will give you
crazy.
back- will give you back
They've
5.
taken them out of circulation now.
They've been out of circulation in the States almost years, but they circulate over in Europe all the time. They've never gone out of circulation overseas.
Well, to buy mint stock, uncirculated mint stock at the Philadelphia Mint, you now need a federal permit.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But you know what?
You should be able to walk in and buy it, but no longer.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to buy stock anyway. You want to have
No,
a
I
pressed coin.
I mean mint stock, meaning pressed
Brand
coin
new.
in
Brand
like
new, never circulated.
Never
uncirculated.
circulated. Okay.
Mint condition.
Well, they call it mint stock. It comes in a special green, what do they call it? Looks like a tackle box container.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about the blanks that hadn't been
Nah, they don't sell that.
pressed yet. No.
But you know why they took the Susan B. Anthony out of circulation in the States, don't you?
I used to, but I can't remember.
The size. It was too similar to a
Oh,
quarter.
too close to a quarter. That's right.
People kept getting change, giving it out for a quarter. And people started complaining because it was just, they reduced the size to save money.
Yeah.
And instead of keeping the regular size and making the suit, so they tried to make it a little odd shape, but so's the quarter.
Yeah.
And
That's right. I remember that now. Yeah.
And people refused to take it.
Oh, we're in love with our dollar bill, and that should be gone.
Oh no, it should be, but the Susan B. Anthony didn't make it because they screwed up and made
And they want to do away with the penny too, but they're saying that would cause huge inflation somehow.
Well, everything would have to be rounded up because they're not going to round it down.
No.
So if it's 6 cents, it's going to 10.
Well, I collect pennies.
Oh, I do. I got pennies all over the place.
I did
I-
have until I
I can't say I
got moved
collected
out of
but
my
I
apartment.
got. I still
I
got,
got-
a bunch. I got wheat. I got different kinds.
You have any large cents?
No, I don't have any large ones. Those
I
are the
buy-
old ones.
I buy pennies that are from when our country was less than 100 years old. I buy a lot of 1837 hand-struck Philadelphia Mint large cents. I usually pay $30 to $50 a piece for a penny.
But like I said, though, the reason why if they did away with the penny, like I said, everything would have to go to round money. And so if it's 6 cents, they're not going to drop it to 5. They're going to 10 because they're not going to take a loss at all.
Oh yeah.
And so you got now some things like gas usually wouldn't be that much because you kick it up a part of a penny,
Yeah, 1/10 of a cent or something.
you know. But sometimes, I mean, right now gas is like 252 or 352, and so it would go up to 355. And
I got one of them
Yeah.
cars. I only run on premium.
Yep.
well, I'm
My
saying it doesn't
Volvo,
matter.
I'm happy on anything else.
I'm just saying, no, it's going to go up.
Everything's going up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though, if it's 6 cents, it's now going to 10 cents, and you can put in, let's say, your gas is 356. That's going to be 360.
I'm ready to buy chickens for my backyard at the price of eggs.
Yeah.
They're saying here on Monday, eggs are supposed to drop in price here where I live.
I hope so, because that'll mean it'll start dropping everywhere.
Well, they're saying they're going to come down in price, but then you got Easter's going to hold them up some.
Yeah.
But part of the
Well,
problem,
no, Ed, they're talking about painting potatoes instead of eggs, so because
Yeah.
eggs are so expensive.
good luck with that.
I can see that.
I've
Hey, the
been
young
seeing
kids
that
wouldn't
all
know.
over.
The young kids wouldn't care as long as they're chasing something and getting a prize out of it.
Yep.
I
You
got
can put marbles out there and they'd be happy.
Yep.
I got the problem with
And
Don't forget they got plastic eggs too you can buy for Easter.
yeah. I'm just talking eggs though in general. Part of the
You
problem
said
with
Easter.
eggs is the feed went up so much.
Well, the
Well,
biggest thing is that avian flu.
Feed
Well,
tri-
like I said,
yeah, but the
like I
problem
said-
with the avian flu issue, I got a lot of egg producers and chicken producers right here. It
Yeah.
only takes you 7 weeks to get chickens to start hatching. And if you're raising them, they only live for another 7 to 12 weeks and you kill them off for food. Other than that, they become egg layers.
Right.
And they start laying eggs probably like at 8 to 9 months.
Yeah,
And then lay
maybe.
for a couple of years.
They'll lay for like 5 years, I think.
But
they
well,
live for a few years.
they slow down. Believe it or not, a
Well,
chicken's
that
born
might
with-
be true.
they're born with every egg they'll ever lay at birth. And
You know, I think I did hear that once before too.
I also heard that the older the chicken, the bigger the egg.
that could be.
That's what I've heard.
But
So,
this whole deal with chickens is, it's part of it's the feed. They're never going to go. Eggs are never going to come down to back to what they used to be.
oh, nothing's going to go back down to what it used to be.
No,
I'm sorry.
as corporate greed, they've got the prices up now. They're going to keep them just as high as they can get away with.
We feed them cereal grain, and we feed them the leftover soybean hulls that we have when we crush the oil out of the soybeans and stuff.
Right.
Chicken feed is nuts.
Like I said, they were talking on the local news here, and you guys probably don't have.
I've
stewards
seen
in your-
something about that in our local news. But they're saying
We
they
don't have what's that, Larry? We
You
don't
guys,
have what?
stewards. It's like a gas station mini
Oh
mart.
no, we've got a dozen other kinds, but not
That's
that
what I
one.
said. Yeah, Stewart's is
You
a
got
large one.
Sweets and Rudders and Wawa in Pennsylvania.
We got Stewart's and we got Cumberland Farms, and but
We've
they
got
were talking-
AMPM and
but they were talking to some of one of the
Stripes.
Stewart's people, and they were saying Monday the eggs will be dropping. And,
did they say how much?
quite a bit? I don't remember exactly, but it was quite a bit. Sound like
I used to buy eggs
they're
for
close to
$87.
Yeah, they're $6 a dozen now.
I used to get them for
Really?
87 cents a dozen, like last year this time.
they
And
were talking about. If I remember hearing right, it was almost like $2 a dozen, but I could have heard that wrong.
you know what my problem with eggs is, though? If I put them on an old-fashioned egg scale, where you set the egg on and it weighs the egg and tells you what size it is,
Uh-huh.
large eggs are not large eggs.
No. You have to go to a jumbo to get what used to be a large egg.
Yeah, it's
That's
straight.
called shrinkflation.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else that maybe you guys haven't noticed. Maybe you have. I mean, we're Big Mac Daddy and myself are big guys. Clothing sizes have changed so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, there is no such thing as a zero for
Right.
women. There is no zero, but yet they have clothing size 0, so they can lower that 16 to a 14
Yeah.
and make that woman feel better. I am fat. You can tell me all you want that I'm not as fat as I am, but I know I am.
Yeah.
And changing my pants size to make me feel better doesn't work. You know?
No, now before I had the stroke and everything, I was about 235 pounds.
I
I'm
wish
only
I was down
5'9".
there.
So I wish I was down there.
Yeah. Well, eat like I tell you, and you will be in about 6 months.
But anyway, hey guys,
Get,
I'm going
get
to
your
end this
A1C
one.
down too.
Guys, I'm going to have to end this one. We're down to on the who's all in the chat. I want to thank
Oh,
everybody for coming. It's almost 11:30, and I have to get up at 5:30.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I'm going to want to shut this down and get ready for bed. Crystal,
Yeah,
if you're still there, thank
Huh?
you for coming.
Yeah,
bless
Ann's
you.
still out there.
Dan's
I
gone.
think. No,
Dan's
Ann.
gone. Yeah,
Crystal's.
that's Crystal. So I want to tell Crystal and you guys and anybody else that might happen to be lurking in the background, thank you for coming. Remember to be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe and healthy. Plus, always try to have fun. Take care,
Amen.
guys. I got to shut this down. Bye.
All right,
see you
Dan.
guys
Larry,
later.
thank you.
All
Take
right.
care, later.
You bet.
Bye.